The United Kennel Club podcast will not only feature great guests living the sporting dog life, but also rules and sport updates. Tune into the Hunting Ops podcasts with Alan Gingrich and Trevor Wade to hear the latest Coonhound rules and updates, Beagle rules and updates, and all breaking news about UKC Hunting Ops programs. Hear it right here first. Subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out. Check out the United Kennel Club online store for all of our magazine subscriptions and UKC merchandise. Go to shop.ukcdogs.com and you'll find all the best gear to support your UKC lifestyle. Snag a new hat, hoodie, or t-shirt and subscribe to our many publications, including our world-leading Coonhound publication, Coonhound Bloodlines. We even have research pedigrees and rule books available to purchase. Why wait? Shop now.
Welcome back to the 2024 UKC World Coonhound Championship. I'm Jamie Estep. I'm joined with Steve Burkholder and Rick Stretch, and we're in Marshall, Illinois. And we've set out tonight with 108 teams, and we're in the first round, and now we're waiting to get to meet the 27 teams that will head into round two. To remind you tonight, to greet them out on the red carpet, we have Alan Gingrich, and we're going to jump out to Alan right now to see if he is hearing anything from the field. Alan, are you hearing anything out there?
Oh yeah, guys, I'm hearing all kinds of things. We've got several cast winners back already, but first on the board is the Kentucky is on the board first. And where have we seen this dog before? Little Lacey here. A couple of years ago, she was the top 6 of the tournament champions, and I'm joined here right now by Casey Maggard, London, Kentucky. Casey, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your hunt here with Little Lacey.
Man, we had a great hunt. Drew a good buddy, Cody Carter, a fella from South Carolina, and another boy from Indiana, and we treat several coons, a good smooth hunt, and all the dogs actually look pretty good, you know, and we just came out on top.
Yeah, today was super hot today, up in the 90s or whatever, but it cooled off pretty good here this evening, and it was probably still pretty warm though this evening.
Yeah, it was definitely when we cut loose, you know, and it seemed like it cooled off as we hunted, but yeah, it was definitely warm.
Yeah, so you're hunting this dog for Jack Maggard. Here is the owner. You've been handling this dog for a good little while. But if I remember correctly, she was still, barely 3 at the TOC a couple of years ago when you had her in. So she's, about 5 now?
Yeah, she's 5. She'll be 6 in January.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your hunt without going into all specific details. Just kind of outline the hunt for us tonight.
When we cut loose, Lacey struck first under the minute. I think 2 other dogs struck under the minute, and maybe the last one just, you know, right there, right at it or at the end of it. Cody Carter's female got treed first. She had a coon, a Karma female. She made a tree, big oak tree. We didn't see nothing, and Lacey had actually crossed the road behind us. She'd come treed, went to her. She had a coon, and I guess the rest of the dogs were back on the other side of the road, and we went and scored a few more trees and got within about 900. I saw that Lacey was treed, but really couldn't hear her, and we'd kind of walked back towards the road, and we were able to hear her, and I got her treed in, and she had another coon.
Yeah, there. I looked at your card. It looked like 2 trees, a clean card, both plus there. So, yeah. Well, hey, there you go. You're in for Friday night. The next round, you're moving on. She's looking great, man. She looks clean, looks to be in good shape and everything. So, what do you think your chances are here moving forward?
I don't know. I hate to brag on her anytime I do. You know, she makes me eat my words, but I'm proud of her. She's definitely been good to me. You know, we'll just see how it goes.
Well, there you go. There's Casey Maggard with Little Lacey, our first contestant in as a winner. She's moving on to Friday night.
All right. Well, I'm sure Casey and Lacey will be ready to go on Friday night. And guys, I know you guys have a copy of her card. What can you tell us happened out there tonight? I know we heard that something I think we'll hear a lot of tonight. Casey said he had a couple of coons and stayed clean, stayed smooth. What are you seeing on the card tonight? Can you tell us anything?
Well, it's the same old thing with Casey and Lacey. Everywhere you go, they are a formidable pair, and they come prepared. Casey has been handling this female for a long time. I think they said she was 5 years old, and to my knowledge, him and Eric Pyatt, maybe one or two more, have hunted her, and they've all had success with her. Another mark of a good dog, you know. She doesn't really have to have Casey behind her out there in the field, but it helps. And they know each other like a book, and it's no surprise that they're here.
Yep, I've hunted with the little female. I've seen her in action. She's one that just, when you unsnap her, she's got one thing on her mind. Doesn't surprise me. She had two, she was on the card twice tonight, and both of them was scored in the plus column. And from the times I hunted with her, that's what she did, you know. So, absolutely. Casey is no strangers to the winner's circle. I can guarantee you this hunt, he's as prepared as anyone here, and the lights aren't going to be too big for him or Lacey.
So it'll be interesting to see. We know that they've been here before to some degree, and I'm sure that they'll make a really nice run tomorrow night as well. We're also getting a report that Alan is ready for us. As he said, action is going to pick up fast and furious. So Alan, what do you have for us?
Well, I've got Ohio on the board here next. I'm here with a 6-year-old English dog right here, owned by Mr. Basil Phillips, and this is Scooter, scored 575 tonight. Congratulations, Basil.
Thank you, bud.
Tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight.
Well, our guide put us in some coon, first and foremost. He's a great guide and great fella. Action-packed from the get.
Yeah, score 575. It had to be pretty good. Did you hunt the whole 2 hours?
We did not. We only hunted 58 minutes.
Yeah, so for a score of 575, that's pretty good in barely an hour here. So what type of terrain were you hunting? Did you obviously hunt it pretty close by? Here you were one of the first ones back.
Yeah, it was, it's kind of like hunting in West Virginia. It was all ravines and hills.
Was it really?
It was kind of rough.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Scooter here. I understand we were talking earlier, and you said you've raised him from a puppy, right? He's 6 years old now.
I had him since he was 6 weeks old. Bought him from Paul Malpin down in Tennessee. Raised and trained him myself.
Yeah. Well, hey, tell us a little bit about the dog here. How does he hunt? What's his hunting style?
Well, he's a high-end strike dog. He'll get to himself. Stay true till you go get him.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts here? Last week at the zones and everything, and now this week, the first round here. I'm sure you probably thought of what it would be like to win this first round. Have you thought about it much now?
We've been concentrating on the first round. I'm going to let it sink in for a second. We're going to give him hell tomorrow.
Well, you're in it for tomorrow, so congratulations, Basil. There you go. Scooter here. He's in for Friday night, round 2.
All right. Well, Basil, I think he was 550 out of the zone 2 that I worked, and so that dog has done some winning there, and I think he had a good run at English days this year, so that dog is used to having his picture taken as well. So guys, tell us what you see on the card.
Well, they've scored on some coons, that's right, or at least he did. We had 2 dogs taken out, looks like kind of early in the event, and left Maximum and Scooter left to hunt, compete against each other. And man, I'm telling you, it looked like Scooter would have been in his backyard the way his scorecard looks. He's got first strike and first tree on the first coon and recut for 25 and another 125 on the second coon and 75 and 125 on the third coon. And that was probably enough for the other guy to withdraw and for the house.
Now, the only part of that I would have liked to ask Basil a question is when he said hunting out here is compared to West Virginia. Now, I don't know if I can agree with that statement or not, because I'm from West Virginia and I've never seen anything out here like my mountains.
There's a couple. If they went towards Brazil or Greencastle, he could have been in a little bit of short rolling hills and things like that.
Certainly nothing like West Virginia.
Nothing like West Virginia.
I went there twice and said I'm not going back.
Yeah, rolling hills and mountains are 2 different things. So.
That's a fact. But I will say this: if you do go down for those guests, and there's a few that went there, we talked about it earlier. down toward Greencastle, Brazil area. There's certainly, the train there can definitely be up and down. Nothing like there, but it can be up and down.
Well, we're getting another report that we already have a dog in, so let's go and see what Alan has for us. Alan, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got an Indiana hound here now next, and this is Gypsy here, owned by Daniel Wilson and Matt Bebout from, Matt's from the Logansport, Peru area, place we've been for the World Hunt before. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. I'm assuming she's off of Daniel's Fred Bear dog.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight without going into all the details.
Oh, she did what she needed to do. Treat a couple coons off to herself and was sitting in there as a third one but didn't need it. And she looked good.
Did you guys hunt the whole 2 hours?
Hour and 50.
Hour and 50, so it just cut short. Just for the folks here, we're running under full elimination rules, and as soon as a dog is the only dog remaining in the cast, then the hunt is over at that point. So she was she hunted an hour and 50 minutes, I guess, and declared the winner at that point. So yeah, 350 plus. Have you hunted over here in this area before?
Yes, I have. Actually, at the TOC, I got guys at the same spot, right behind the Marshall Coon Club. It's big country, safe, a lot of coons, tree coons right behind the clubhouse. It's good hunting.
Yeah, so most folks that are familiar with Walker dogs are familiar with the name Schooner River Fred Bear. So that's her sire, and I assume you and Daniel raised her?
Yep, Daniel raised her from a puppy. He had the whole litter. About 10 months old, he told me to come pick her up and start taking her hunting, and I did, and we've had a good career ever since.
What would you say she hunts like? What's her style?
She's a medium to a high-end straight dog, always off to herself. She's accurate, and she's going to usually tree a couple close and then be deep with one.
Well, I know you've been behind her a lot here in the last couple of years, and she's been good to you. So congratulations on a good run here in round number 1, and you're headed on to the round number 2 on Friday.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, here you go. Back to you guys.
All right, well, congratulations to Matt and Gypsy, and they're kind of like the same, talking about Casey and Lacey. Those two have been together as well, and I would say they're going to make a splash into tomorrow night. So what do you see on the card for her?
Absolutely. Well, she scored on a couple of coons, kept her nose clean. Something that we're seeing common, and I know we didn't talk about the first couple of casts, but it just kind of looking at this, the guys that are advancing, they're scoring on a couple of coons when the opportunity is there, and they're keeping their nose clean. And I think that obviously when you come into a full elimination style of hunt, the more that you can take and keep your nose clean, and what we mean by keeping your nose clean in a hunt is try to stay out of the minus column, not giving back the points that you worked hard to earn. And these all three of these first dogs that we looked at, that they're keeping their nose clean. There's other dogs that have scored, but for unfortunate reasons, just took a minus here or there. And at this level, minus when you start pulling minus, it can sometimes be really, really hard to regain from it, because you almost have to score double them points to even get back to this.
Well, it's a timed event. And time is constantly working against you when you're behind and working for you when you're ahead. But whenever you do score a little bit of minus or a whole lot of minus or something like that, trying to regain, trying to come back from it, it's hard.
Yeah, and Matt and Gypsy, they've been a tandem for quite a few years now. And
how old is she?
She's 5. And so I remember him when he was hunting her, getting her ready for the super stakes and different hunts like that. I actually hunted with her out of our club in the DeKalb County Coonhound Association, and hunted with her. And if she's anything like she was, a few years ago when I hunted her, it doesn't surprise me that she's here, and it wouldn't surprise me that she makes a fairly deep run in this hunt.
I think we're seeing dogs that have won in the past. They're coming right back here and being consistent as well. We're already hearing from the field that Mr. Allen has another one for us. So, Allen, who do you have with you now?
Yeah, well, I told you guys they're coming in fast and furious now, but I've got Ohio again, second Ohio dog now, southeastern Ohio here to be exact, and I've got Kenny Zuspin here with Flash, scored 300 plus tonight. Congratulations, Kenny.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Flash here. What are we looking at here?
Chad Reisner, he trained this pup. Me and Cody Sheets bought Shot a few years ago off Dual Murphy, and Kevin and Cody decided to buy Fire and breed her back to big money, and this is the second cross. So this is Shot's brother.
Okay, and how old?
2.
Just 2. So have you hunted the dog quite a bit yourself?
Nope. I went to one qualifier this year. I went up to Medina, the last one, and drew Flash, and I kind of did a oopsie and cost my dog. So they said the dog beat me, and I said I'll take him on then.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, hey, you've had a lot of success hunting with one of your own dogs there, and now this little dog here. But here we are, the World Hunt. You last minute at Medina, get the dog qualified, literally on the last weekend of qualifying. So, and the last week at the zones, looks like you're doing pretty good.
Yep, fortunate to be able to hunt her because Chad should have been, but he was going to hunt Fire, and Fire come in heat, and I didn't get fired. I get to keep hunting. So.
Well, it looks like you're doing just fine with Flash here too. So tell us about your hunt tonight a little bit.
We treated a coon for 175, and then we took a bad break. We treated another coon, and when we walked into the tree, there's a dead snag about 3 foot from it, and he's just standing there looking at me, and they said handle him, and they put him on the snag. And I'd been working on this dog all week for going back to a tree, and luckily he went back to the tree, the one he was on, and he got plus for it when he went back. That tied me and the English dog. We're going to be beat on a tiebreaker, and then he went in there and treated another one. So,
Must have looked pretty good here. Hey, so tell us a little bit. You've hunted a lot of dogs on big stages and everything, so you've got a young dog here. What does your week leading up to the finals look like with a dog like this?
oh, it's awful. This dog looked horrible all week. He's been leaving trees, and he treated a possum, and he ain't done that, and he's. I was pretty depressed, and he looked good last weekend, and he's looked good tonight. So I told Cody and them, I'm done pleasure hunting. They can pleasure hunt.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Should we bet on the dog tomorrow or no?
I mean, if he continues doing what he's doing.
Yeah, well, hey, Kenny, congratulations, man. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, in round number 2. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Now, the only part of Kenny's interview I ain't going to agree with, I'm going to claim a little bit for West Virginia. They said Ohio, but there's some West Virginia stuff there. But I will say this before I go to you guys. A buddy of mine was with him at our zones last week and said that little dog absolutely put a show on. It made me laugh when Kenny said he worked on him this week for going back, and the guy that judged him last week said, I would hate to see how bad he would have beat us if he hadn't went back to some holes. And so that dog is probably going to be one that if he don't make a show this weekend when Kenny gets him right, that's going to be something to say. I used to say all the time about Style. He was the best dog in West Virginia for years. Everybody else just was playing second fiddle to Style. But it ain't about Style tonight. What do you got on the card, guys?
Well, Kenny told us exactly what happened on there, just like Kenny does. And he scored on 3 coons, and then took that minus that Kenny mentioned to us. He had a lot of action tonight, and most of it good. And we just got done talking about dogs that are scoring these minus are going to have a hard time winning. Well, here's one that didn't, because he treated one more coon than everybody else.
We didn't ask, and Alan didn't ask us. I wonder if he was a full 2 hours. Does it say? Can you tell anything?
I don't think so.
I'm going to say so.
I would say so because he had to treat a coon right at the end. But
yeah,
I had to think on what Kenny said there, and we've heard this statement before from one of our very own. We used to hear it all the time. He said it doesn't matter what they look like through the week. It matters what it looks like on payday.
Yeah.
And this is truly one of them incidents, you know. And hey, we've all been there. Dogs just, you think when you leave to go to a hunt, and it can happen. Dogs just, getting a rut through the week may not look good when you're pleasure hunting, trying to get them ready. And you go into a hunt not having a lot of expectation other than you're just glad that you got to that point. And, you get them in the right atmosphere, get them in the right setting, and they can, certainly do what his did tonight.
Yep. Occasionally you'll have that dog that shows off on the weekend when there's a little bit of competition, when there's a little bit of pressure on them. They feel it just like a human being feels.
I just want to make sure that you get that right. I picked Fire, okay? Did you mark that down for me?
I don't have any of the paperwork for that.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's there. I picked Kenny.
I don't have any of that.
Make sure you have that. Hey, will you check it while we go back out to Alan? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, try that. Alan, what do you got, man?
Well, hey, this year, Indiana led the way with the most dogs coming out of the state into the finals here. And here's the second one we're seeing advancing on to round number 2. Congratulations, Mr. Nick Imel, Central Indiana here with a dog named Gabby, a 5-year-old 400 plus. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about her. You've raised her up. You've had a lot of success with her already.
I raised her up, and she was off of my Abby female that I won the ACHA World Hunt with. And got a litter of pups, and this is where we're at right now.
Yeah, we had Matt Bebout up here a little bit ago. He's the first Indiana guy to get in here. This dog is actually related pretty closely to Matt's gypsy female.
They have the same daddy.
There you go. There you go. So, hey, tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight. How'd that go?
Went good. She had a first right out the truck, and turned her loose off of that, and had another coon off in there about 0.7, and that was the only 2 coons we treed, so she did a good job.
That's all you needed. So I know you hunt hard, and you've had a lot of success with this family of dogs here. What is it that you like about Gabby? How does she win?
Well, Gabby, she ended up winning the Walker Days this year, and she's had a good year so far, and we're hoping we can finish this out and win the World Hunt. So.
Well, you've got a good start here, so we'll be seeing you tomorrow night at 5 o'clock in the handlers meeting, and congratulations, Nick. All right. There you go. Nick Imel with Gabby.
All right, well, that is another duo, as Nick said. They're no strangers to the camera, and I would say they will be making a run into tomorrow night as well. And I love what Nick said about the second coon, how she got deep and treed, and that runs in that family of dogs. I've had several out of them. They're notorious for that. But what do you guys see on the card?
Before we go to the card, that's the second Fred Bear dog that's won its cast tonight.
Yeah.
And there was 4 in the hunt tonight out of Fred, and so that's pretty amazing right there, right off the bat. But yeah, the scorecard looks good, and Steve can tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like Nick had shared, she scored the only 2. She scored the only 2 coon that they scored on. And honestly, by looking at the card, it was a little bit tight up until then. But I'm gonna tell you, Nick is a hunter. I know he won the ACHA World with this dog's mother, but he also won the PKC World with another female that he had. He's notorious for hunting females, and really good females. And he's been paired up with this one pretty much since she's been puppy. I've actually got to hunt with her a few different times. I really expect it wouldn't shock me if she'd win this whole thing. She's that type of dog, and this terrain fits her good. And what do I mean by that? She's definitely she's one that likes to be on offense, and so I really look for her to make a really deep run. And the stage is certainly not too big for Nick. Right. He's got one ready when they get here.
All right, well, we're continuing to move fast and furious. We're going right back out to Alan and the red carpet. What do you have, Alan?
Well, I've got North Carolina on the boards now. Now, I'm here with Kevin Sasser and Rip. Rip is now a 4-year-old, came out of Indiana, though. I remember Logan Manns had this dog when he was young, and he was pumped about this dog. He hunted this young dog hard, and we knew that you'd got him. 175 score tonight. Kevin, congratulations, man. Tell us a little bit about Rip here.
Thank you. Yeah, Rip's a phenomenal dog. Logan deserves a lot of credit. He put a lot of time in this dog. I bought Rip from Logan about a year and a half ago. So, he is just, he's not flashy, he's just a coon treer, and he's probably one of the most consistent, accurate dogs that I have ever walked behind. And, before we get started deep, I just want to thank, I want to thank the Lord for a safe hunt, and thank my wife. She was a truck man tonight, so sorry, but pretty emotional now. It's a big deal for us. Well, I want to thank Randy White, Jimmy Hopkins, and Joey Fuller for the amount of time they spend with me in the woods. And then thanks to Travis Snyder, Ben Stansberry, and Eddie Godfrey. they're from Ohio, spent a lot of time with Rip. There was just a few things that I needed help with, and we don't have enough coons to really do the corrections that we need. So those guys put a lot of time in with me too. So, just a pleasure to hunt. He is a pleasure to hunt.
Well, I'm sure Logan Mans is going to be your biggest fan tonight. I know he loved this dog, and he always had him ripped. I remember some of the pictures he had, and it fits his name good. But hey, let's talk about your hunt tonight. How'd your hunt go? Tell us a little bit about that.
Went great. We had a great cast, good group of guys. Out of the truck, I struck in the cornfield for 75. I really hated to see that right off the bat, but Rip actually caught a coon in the cornfield, and unfortunately he shuts down when he catches one. He likes to mess with them, chew them for a little while. So I had a little bit of downtime on that. But anyway, he moved on, made a tree. We got in there, huge tree, den tree. The guide said they treat it all the time, never got to see a coon in it. So obviously we didn't see one either. Recut him. I treat him back in at about 9/10 of a mile. Went to him. He had a coon. Recut him. Struck him back in a little over a mile, and he had one treat at the end, but we didn't need it, so we didn't have to use it.
Well, there you go. And I'll bet the hunting up here in this part of the country is a little bit different than what you're used to.
It is a lot different. It's a lot different, but Rip's adapted.
Well, and I'm sure you were loving it tonight.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Hey, Kevin, congratulations. You're moving on to round number 2, and we will see you on Friday night with Rip here.
Thank you all. Appreciate the opportunity.
All right, there you go, guys. Back to you all.
All right, now that's an exciting win because I've spent some time before Kevin bought Rip, hunted with him, and I can guarantee you one thing. Both those times that dog was deep, he could hear him. That joker has a mouth on him. And if I'm correct, that's another one off of Fred Bear.
That's number 3.
Number
right
3.
There, and the Night's Young.
And the Night's Young. And so it's exciting. I remember I have to tell a story on Rip. We were hunting up there, Logan and Jason Smith and I were hunting. And I was going to Rolo, which was another dog off of Fred Bear. And I come out, Rip had came treed. And Rip was treating, and I called him. I said, Rip's treed right in this patch of woods. And they was like, no, he's not. He's on the patch over. And I said, no, the dog's not. He's treed in this patch of woods. And I was arguing with him, and they finally came around and picked me up. And he was not in that patch of woods. He was over in the next patch, and he has a mouth. And so congratulations to Rip and Kevin. Great dog there. And I think I had him picked as well, if you look at that. But we'll go ahead.
I don't know.
But we'll go. I know I picked him, but let's see what the card says.
That's exactly what I've been telling Steve about for months on end. And here you just kind of ratted yourself out. You can't tell the difference when a dog's in there just a little ways or a dog's in there a long ways. I'm always surprised to see you here at these events.
I am too.
I just don't know.
You can tell the talent extraordinaire. I mean,
I just don't know.
Can you talk about the dog? I mean, can y'all talk about the dog? I mean,
well, I'll tell you what. I quit listening to him because that man is the nerves that guy's got right now. He's nervous. He's happy. He's thanking everybody that's had a hand in that dog. That's awesome to see. That is awesome to see that somebody can be still humbled and be in this event like this and headed into the next round tomorrow night. It's awesome.
And for those that don't know, whatever, Kevin has been around these hunts for a long time. Has owned some really good dogs. Has been on a very high competitive level. But I still say there's something about when you get to this world hunt. To try to go out and try to win a world title, and coming from a competitive standpoint for many years, it's hard. I mean, getting through this, you want to get through the zones, and the zone level is what happens the weekend before, and they start out with 500 and I believe 70 some dogs this year, hunt it down to 108, and you get here and you're really excited to be here. And going forward, it's when you can get through on Thursday night, you can see the emotion on his face because you put all this work in. You're now in the top 20 something, probably the top 27 of a world hunt, and now it starts sinking in. I know for me, the times that I've got to experience it, now it starts sinking in that hey, you know what? I really got a legitimate shot at winning this thing. My odds have gotten a lot better. And, you know, you could hear from his voice, you know, it's gratifying when you're hearing him, he can't get a dog right in his train. And what they mean by that is maybe not as much game to score on or whatever, and it's harder to put dogs in a situation like he's going to be tonight. And then, so he's traveling and he's going with his friends that, you know, quite a ways, and they're hunting and trying to get ready for one. And it's just truly awesome to see the emotion, just like you shared, Rick, and knowing the hard work that went in to get this dog ready for this event.
There's a lot of names on the back of that dog, you know.
100%.
Sometimes it takes a big team.
And I know we touched on it a little briefly, but I'm just going to share that it's extremely, for any of us that have bred hounds over the years and stuff like that, you have one that makes in the top 27 of the world, that, you know, you had one of your male dogs or whatever is a sire. But I can tell you right now, you know, Daniel Wilson has had an amazing breeding program. Obviously, Fred Bear has been knocking on the door for the last few years. And any of these three that we've mentioned tonight off of Bear, any of these three could make a deep run, if not win it all for sure.
Now, did he just have the one coon? He just had the one coon on the card, said he had one at the end, but didn't need it, correct? That's what...
And just to kind of clarify too a little bit what he had shared about striking in a cornfield and stuff, and having some downtime. Sometimes that happens. You know, dogs get out there. Obviously, they feel like they may have caught one or whatever it may be, and then to come off of that in a hunt like this here and make a den tree, a circle tree, and when you make a den tree, for those that you know, a den tree is when you tree, the coon could very easily be there, but not be able to find it. You get circled on it. So, you know, to come back from that's pretty awesome.
All right. Well, we are getting some notice that we have another one in the red carpet waiting on us. So, Mr. Allen, what do you have?
Well, I've got Missouri on board for us now. I've got Fergie here, Randy Ficken. Congratulations, Randy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is actually one of my old Redbone buddies here, so I'm not sure what happened here, but you can tell us, Randy.
Just a little switch for a time being. I'll be back with the Red Dogs.
Well, okay. Well, so I guess you got this dog from another Redbone buddy of ours, right?
Yep, buddy Brian Genowine. He had her, and I ended up getting her from him.
All right, so you scored 475 tonight, 6-year-old female she is, and tell us a little bit about how she's bred.
She is out of Shack, and then on the bottom side, she goes back to Trackman.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Cummings is a redneck Shack Hall of Fame dog. Yeah, so tell us about your hunt tonight, Randy.
Oh, it was a great hunt. She made several circle trees, and I believe we scored on three coons with herself. But it was a good hunt.
Yeah. So, how do you hunt her? You hunt her pretty hard leading up to the World Championship like this. What?
Well, actually, she was due to have pups the day of the zone, September 12th. So I sent the entry in. So she really hasn't been hunted that much. I was hoping she was going to have pups, but now I'm glad she didn't.
Not going to happen, looks like.
Not going to happen. No, She was due to have them on the 12th of September.
Yeah, well, hey, here you are, World Finals, round 1, moving on to round number 2. What are your thoughts now?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I made it to the finals, so pretty excited.
Yeah, well, hey, congratulations. So there you go, Randy Ficken and Fergie. Moving on to Friday, guys.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo. Guys, what do you see happening tonight on the card with Randy and Fergie? What do you see?
Well, I tell you, it looked like it was a very competitive cast. I mean, but judging by what the card and kind of hearing what he said, kind of come down to, it's only 50 points separated him from the second place dog in the cast. So, you know, they certainly, I believe by looking at it, just what I'm seeing, 2 dogs scored on 2 apiece, actually 3 apiece. So they must have been on a tree together. So, you know, had 3 other trees that she made. This little female made 6 scoreable trees. So certainly looks like she could be an action-packed dog.
Yeah, a lot of action.
And
on
this
the
would be
scorecard here.
this would be a cast that we could just assume that went the full 2 hours, probably
sure.
being so
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
in that. And so congratulations to that duo, and being their first time here, they're getting ready to make a run.
Yeah.
So, and we're getting some notice already. We got another one in the red carpet. Mr. Allen, what do you have?
Yeah, well, guys, this time I've got a Kansas dog here, and this is Louis. And if he looks familiar, it might be. 5th place finisher in the World Hunt last year, Jeff Pedro here, Kansas. 3-year-old Louis here. You're back again, right where you left off last year. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, tell us a little bit about how your hunt went tonight.
We had a real good cast. We had a good judge. We cut loose, and he struck for 100. Another little female got treed about 200. He drove a track in there about 600 and treed. So I had 2 1/4 on the first coon. Recut him. After they scored there, they didn't find her coon. We recut him, and he was treed again in about 15 minutes with another coon. And then the little female treed a coon. And when I recut him this time, he was 6/10 through there and had another coon treed, and they withdrew then. So
So you didn't even have to hunt the whole 2 hours?
no, they conceded.
They conceded. They conceded to Louis here. So let's tell us again how he's bred.
He's a double track man bred dog. I owned his sire, which was a Grand Night champion out of Trackman, and then we bought a bitch out of Indiana and bred to her. So it's about how he's bred. His mama was out of Mill Creek Magic, so he's a double track man bred dog.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Jeff. Yeah, he'll like that, and he's here. He'll like that. He probably would have liked to get in your picture tonight.
Yeah, I probably would have.
if he'll have something to brag about if he doesn't do any good. But hey, Jeff, 5th place last year. You've set the bar. What are your thoughts here?
Well, if he can operate like he did tonight, I got a good shot. But you know how it is from night to night.
Yeah. Well, hey, you've got through the first round here. We'll see you tomorrow night. You bet. All right, there you go, guys. Jeff Pedro and Louis moving on to Friday.
All right. Well, he said it best. They've been here before, and looks like they still got some things to prove on their mind. So congratulations to that duo. And they said they conceded. So what do you guys see? What put them out? What do you?
Alan say that was one of his Redbone buddies? Is that how that started?
No, it was I think the one before that was
Okay.
Redbone Buddy.
All right. Well, a lot of action out of Louis. And once again, it's just stunning to me year after year after year. We had the National Grand Night Champion in that cast as well. And the crowd, I believe that maybe the crowd favored in the pick'em, or at least second best, and went home and defeated this time. And Louis put them out. But that dog right there scored on 3 coons. Had first tree on all 3 of them, had a first strike, and then cut back in for a quarter each time on them other 2. So Louis is rocking and rolling with that. No minus. Kept his nose clean for the rest of the night. His scorecard looks good.
I think what you said just a moment ago shows I might not be a coonhound extraordinaire, but I'm here just to help you to remember
You
things.
you need to remember that too.
You struggle on memory.
I will say this about Louis. I think, according to Alan, the dog placed 5th last year. Is that correct? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, and there's 3 dogs here that make the finals, and I think we can all agree. In the Louis dog, also in the Bush Bandit dog, and Cookie, who won it last year, they was in the top 5 last year, and they're all 3 back here in the finals. And this one here, he looking at his card, beat some really good dogs. I mean, he beat a little female to Rick's Point. That's as hot as anything that's going right now. So, and sometimes that happens. You get in just a situation where it just goes your way. So, look for him to make a good run for sure.
All right. Well, it is keeping up, being fast and furious. And so, Mr. Allen has another one. Allen, who do you have?
Well, guys, this time I have Trent Barker from another Kentucky dog right here, and I was talking to Trent a little bit ago about this dog, getting a little information. He says he got him in April from a registered dog to a Grand Night. He got him qualified, and here he is. Congratulations, Trent.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight.
It was a good hunt. We treated some coons. Riley treated one for 225, and then we recut him, and he got through there, and I let him sit there forever, and finally I had to treat him at the end of the cast to win.
Oh, yeah. Did you hunt the whole 2 hours?
Yeah, we hunted the whole 2 hours.
Hunted the whole 2 hours, yeah. So the dog is owned by John Wages. Have you hunted any other dogs for him? Or?
Yeah, we got a little female called Hooker we own together.
Okay, so you've hunted some dogs with John before, yes. So what do you like about this dog here? Tell us about Rowdy a little bit.
He's just a trail style dog. He ain't nothing fancy. He just trees coons.
Well, that's what it takes, I guess, to win a world championship, I would think, right? So how does it feel? You're kind of one of the younger guys handling dogs here. How are you feeling?
Nervous about it, but it's part of it. We'll take night from night.
Yeah, hey, you got past the first round, so that ought to ease their nerves a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It helps.
So what is it that you like best about Rowdy here?
He just stays by himself and stays out of trouble usually.
Yeah. Well, hey, there we go, guys. This Rowdy dog, he's a 4-year-old, scored 375 tonight, so we've got another Kentucky dog in for Friday. So there you go.
All right. Well, congratulations to Trent and Rowdy. I know during the week of Autumn Oaks, when I was being Master of Hounds up there, Trent won a lot that week in the Slam. So he's on a streak. That's just a couple of weeks ago, and he's looking good. Guys, what do you see on the card?
Well, we see that dog scored on 2 coons, 2 trees and 2 coons. And the other 3 dogs scored on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trees combined. And they had a lot of circle points with 2 of them and a couple.
And combined 2 coons. So there's the 9 trees with a combined 2 coons, and he makes 2 and sees 2. And,
So it'd been interesting to hear that from the road, from the truck tonight. Because you would think that the other 2 or 3 dogs that are out there racking all these points up, it would have been just a big blowout. But Rowdy was the one that had the most points.
Yeah, and I would say we would go back through the cards and look, and if you're at home keeping up with this as well, we're probably seeing that begin to unfold. That 2 coon, 3 coon is where the winning mark.
I'm kind of surprised that we're seeing these good scores, though. I mean, that's good for a world hunt.
Especially for as dry as it is here. And 2 coons are winning it, but there's multiple. 2 coon won this cast, but there's 4 coons scored on.
Yeah.
So
right.
It looks like they're moving good, and certainly getting them in a situation where it's giving dogs an opportunity to win.
Some of the guys were talking about that they'd like to start a little later, and we know we've talked about this. Some of them did start a little bit later, but these guys here started.
It's been pretty consistent.
And they've started a little bit earlier, and things have been going well for them.
Well, I think it was one of our early casts when the Basil's cast the Scooter Dog been the highest score come in, and that was one of the early casts. Yeah, so he probably went out quick. Yeah. Guys, we have another one already in, so let's go to Alan and see who he has.
Yeah, for all those folks watching from Oklahoma, I've got an Oklahoma dog right here, a blue tick, matter of fact. Cole and Teddy Nolan own this dog, and I'm here with Cole Nolan. The dog is also co-owned with Wade Ward here, but the dog's name is Jenny's got a blue tick in. Cole, tell us a little bit about your dog here.
She's Traveler on the top side, goes back to Pink Floyd and Gage on the bottom side. That's pretty much it. She's a blue tick.
And you've raised her from a pup, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about your hunt tonight a little bit without going into all the details, but let's hear about your hunt.
It's pretty slow. 2 dogs treating a hole in the ground, and then she treated a coon by herself, and then another dog treated a coon, and she treated another coon. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so have you hunted in this area before?
No, not really.
So how does it differ from Oklahoma?
It's not any different. A lot more crop fields.
Like crop fields? It's pretty dry around here right now, so it's probably a little drier where you're at too.
It's dry everywhere.
Yeah, so hey, what style of dog is she here?
She's more of a layup dog than she is anything. Tonight she wasn't. She struck 2 bad tracks and worked them up, and she treated them. She had the coon at the end of it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
wasn't a very fantastic cast. We were pretty slow going.
Yeah, so hey, tell us about her breeding a little bit. What's she out of?
She's out of Traveler on the top side, owned by Tony Hodge, and then female my dad owns that goes directly back to Pink Floyd and Gage on the bottom.
Hey, I apologize. You already had said that, so I apologize. But anyways, hey, congratulations. Friday, you're in round 2 of the World Championship. What are your thoughts now?
I just hope she trees coon.
Nervous a little bit?
No, not really.
Well, hey, that's good. Hey, congratulations, Nolan, and we will see you in Friday night's round number 2. All right, guys, there you go. Kentucky Blue Tick dog right in the round number 2.
All right. Well, congratulations to those guys. Again, hearing the same theme. 2 coons.
Hang on to them.
Hang on to them. He's talking about how dry, a little bit of different terrain. Not as much as different terrain, but he said his dog is a layup dog, but tonight she was able to be a coon dog, and she worked up a couple tracks. Maybe not her style, but she did it, and she won. So what do you guys see on the card?
Well, I can tell you, out of all the casts that we looked at today, I felt this cast here was going to be one of the more competitive casts because of the dogs that she drew. He won a cast of some really good dogs. Now it doesn't look like the hunt really went that way for some of them, but obviously the Nistleys had the Bush Bandit dog in this cast that placed second last year at the UKC World. The Gus dog was one of our higher scoring dogs in Zone 1, a zone that I was at. And so was the Joe dog. I mean, the Gus dog got in on a double cast win there, and the Joe dog was one of the higher single cast winning scores there. Would have been boat nights, caught an unfortunate break on Friday night in his cast. So what I see is she probably drew as tough of a cast as she was going to draw this weekend, and again scored on 2, held on to him. And it doesn't look like a lot of the rest of the guys was fortunate on that, So
she done a good job of treeing both coons. According to the scorecard here, she struck for a quarter on the first turn loose. And you want to hope that you've got a better strike than that on the first turn loose. And she struck for a quarter and put a coon on the end of it. So that's kind of impressive that she pulled that win out. And like Steve said, this was one of the tougher casts that we had drawn together. We're seeing a few off-colored dogs in here tonight, Steve.
Yeah, no, and that's exciting. You know what I mean? Obviously, the odds are stacked against them. It's just the way it is. But to see some of them come through, it's pretty exciting. And obviously, for me, being a Blue Tick fancier all my life, it's exciting to see one of these advance for sure.
Now, was her card clean on her? On her, so she stayed.
No circle, no minus.
So she stayed.
2 trees made, 2 coons scored.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So she did very well. How old is she?
A 4-year-old.
4-year-old. So
I believe to your point on that, Jamie. I think that Alan, when we had shared earlier tonight, I think 4-year-old was a common theme here as far as the most
hunting tonight were 4 years of age.
We're 4 years of age. Yeah. So. That's a lot of times when a lot of dogs are coming into their prime and they're athletic and just poised to make a run for sure.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have another one already back with us and ready with Alan. So, Alan, who do you have?
Well, this time I have Austin Parker here from Tennessee, but the dog here this is Judge, and he is from Louisiana, owned by Mr. Chase Thomas, scored 225 tonight. Congratulations, Austin. Tell us a little bit about this dog.
He's just turned 7. He's out of a dog named Stylish Homer and a Mojo female.
All right, and how long have you been hunting the dog?
I bought him about 4 months ago.
Okay, what is it that you like about him?
He just usually stays to himself, and he's pretty good about having a coon.
Yeah, you told me you guys treed, 3 or 4 coons on your cast tonight. Tell us a little bit about your hunt.
We 3 of us got treed right off the bat together. We had to circle it. Him and another dog treed a coon. Another dog split and had a coon. Another dog was treed deep, circled it. Then he got to himself and had a coon. And then at the end of the hunt, we all 3 got treed. And they needed a coon to beat me, and he was about 7/10 of a mile off to himself, and that pretty much ended it.
Well, that sounds like a good hunt for sure. So he's 7 years old already now. And what is he out of?
He's out of Stylish Homer. A boy named Brendan Toney in Louisiana owns him.
Yeah, and I had already asked you that, I guess. But 7 years old, he is one of the older hounds here in the hunt. Got past the first round. How do you like your chances here now?
It's anybody's game.
Yeah.
As long as he keeps doing right, he'll be okay.
All right. Hey, Austin.
Hey, Alan, one more. Can you hear us out there?
Yeah.
One more question here. I see that he's not titled. So I was curious to know how many hunts he's been in or how many casts he's been in, that he's just a PR, no champion title in front of him.
Yeah, Austin, tell us a little bit about that.
I couldn't tell you. I took him to the RQE and won that, and then won both casts at the zones, and now I'm here. That's all I put him in.
So this is like his fourth hunt, literally?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I don't know what to say about that. This is a good one to bet on, I think.
Yeah, you never know. The boy I bought him from, he works on the oil rig, so he only hunted him through the winter some. I think he just pleasure hunted him.
Well, I'd say he's got a good record going here. So, hey, congratulations on your first round win. We'll see you on Friday night here with this judge dog here.
All right. Well, congratulations to a coon dog.
You ain't lying.
That's right.
You
and
ain't
so
lying.
most as we might see these dogs in the Hall of Fame and grand night numbers and everything. Well, he's got 4, one more to be night champion, but he's moving on.
He's done it all in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks,
or three weekends, I guess you could say.
So congratulations. What did this coon dog put on the card?
Well, he scored on 4 trees this evening. He had a circle tree right out of the truck, looks like, and him and another dog shared a coon. And then he treated a coon, looks like, by himself, and then he had a circle there at the end. And it gave him a 225. The other 3 dogs tied at 150 apiece.
Okay.
And but I think he's the first PR we've had walk in here, and that's exciting to see.
At 7
years old.
You know, and how many times have you hear the saying, a dog, relatively unheard of, probably hadn't really got a shot.
What are you thinking? A dog tied behind the barn? That's our phrase.
That truly was one tied behind the barn there, probably.
It really was.
The phrase.
Yeah.
And obviously for what that basically means is one that probably, like he shared with the guy worked on the oil rigs, probably just got pleasure hunted a lot, never really got his shot, and then all of a sudden, however, he ends up with him and starts giving him a shot to compete. And you know what? At 7 years old, them dogs like that, they're not really, how can I say, they're not, one would think that he's not soured
they're not
from the house,
they're not
and probably not, beat up from traveling up and down the road. And I can tell you this, beat some fairly good hounds in his cast. I know one in particular, a dog called Trail of Tears that Doug Douglas hunts. Really good female. They've been on a roll with her. And, for him to pull this out is pretty awesome.
Randy Smith drove all the way up here from Mississippi with one of his black and tans in this cast, too. And Randy's always has a nice black and tan.
Yeah, 100%.
I've known Randy forever, and he always has a good black and tan. It wasn't a pushover cast at all. And here this dog has been in four casts, I guess, and here we are.
I am sure, and I would say you guys agree with me, that no matter who he draws this week, that dog is probably going to be able to match up. He's experienced, he's a coon treer, and I would say we can maybe see him show up again as well. Not sure what we have taken up in the field right now, but as we have a break and seeing what Alan's getting done right now, and waiting on a few more to come back, I want to take us in a little bit of a different direction for just a moment. I want to ask a couple questions. As you guys know, they've emailed us a lot of history and some things like that concerning the World Hunt. And I went back to the room today and I looked at some things, and maybe our viewers don't understand this and don't know this, but the World Hunt began back in 1978 was the actual first World Hunt. There was a hunt called the Tournament of Champions that was in 1975, 76, and 77. But in 78, they changed that to the first title of the UKC World Hunt. And it was held in Ohio. It was held in Beaver Dam, Ohio.
Yeah, right, correct.
You have any where would that be compared to Mount Gilead? Our viewers last year?
It was it's just short. It's just a short little drive north.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, just a short little drive north.
They'd be up around
Napoleon and up in that way. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a little bit north of where we were last year. I jotted the numbers down. In 1978, there was 2,078 entries, 423 dogs qualified, and the dog that won it that year was Loomis's Tom. And then I just jumped all the way to this year, Marshall, Illinois, 2024. 3,622 entries. So it's a pretty huge difference. 849 dogs qualified, and of course 577 entered in the zones, which at that point in time they didn't have zones in 1978. just kind of give me your guys' thoughts on seeing, just by statistics, from where in 1978 to 2024, we've all competed in the World Hunt in the middle of that. Tell me some things that you guys have seen progress
the
through
word
the
you
World
used
Hunt.
right there, Jamie, and let me stop you right there before you keep stumbling and fumbling around here. You and Steve have competed. That's correct. That's the truth.
I opened that up. But only one of us. You will love my next statement. Okay.
Time's running. Did I butt in before I?
Yeah, you run your mouth before you thought. That's why we need Sonia.
Time
here
is
to keep
running
you.
out. Time is running out on you and Burkholder to do what I've done.
Time has already run out. Okay, but anyhow. If we can move on, if you can stay to answer the question, then I'm going to give you your moment in glory here just in a second, okay?
What was the question again?
Okay, see, that's my job, is to keep you straight.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, not yourself, but how have you seen?
You were the one that said that you
I just wanted to know history. I didn't want to, but what have you seen change over the years as a competitor? As Steve said just a moment ago, as a competitor, I mean, you're older than me, so you've had to hunt him more.
And I've won a lot more too. The thing, and Steve will add to what I say and agree or disagree with what I say.
Probably disagree.
Hunting time has changed. Has probably the amount of free land or that we can hunt has shortened. Our equipment has got 1,000 times better than what we used to have to hunt with. And I think people focus more on breeding right now, or not right now, but in the last few years. Those things have all improved. And our trucks go faster, our boxes, our dog hauling boxes are better. Everything is better than it was when we started.
You know, I was doing some research on this, the information that Trevor had sent, and I should have jotted it down even better, but the year that before they switched to zones, it was amazing the number of non-hunting judges they had to have, and they had to have 2 per cast.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that would be possible today to put on a Wednesday night, put that many dogs in the woods with 2 non-hunting judges, and that speaks volumes to. And I think that's one of the changes that we've seen happening, and it's why zones came about to alleviate some of that pressure. Steve, and what would be something for you?
Well, I mean, I just to kind of, not to piggyback off of Rick, but things have certainly over the years. For me, from when I first started competing in the World Hunt to what it is now, is we have so much more access to with technology. When you have the technology and you can kind of figure out a little bit more what's going on with the dog in the field, it tend to gives you a little insight. And what we mean by that, years ago, we had tracking systems, but the tracking system was more of a beep system, and it would kind of tell you the direction that the dog was in. You'd kind of judge by the tone of the beep, that kind of thing. Whereas now we use a lot of, now we can basically look at a screen and see the terrain. You can see the overhead, foliage of what they may be in or whatever. So you can see a lot more of that side of it. And honestly, back in 78 and from that point forward, didn't even have them systems back then. I think, and I'm just speaking from 90 on, because that's when I really kind of started hunting. There was a lot of good dogs back then, and there's a lot of good dogs now. Certainly the numbers, I mean, think about it. Back then they had 2,000 that went out to get qualified, and now there's 3,000, 3,500. So obviously you're coming through a lot bigger field to get through that.
This worked out perfect to us to be able to lead into this next segment to allow him to have his glory moment. But unfortunately, I've been informed we have to go to break, so we have to go to break. So I'm not sure if we're coming. We might not have time to come back.
It is always something.
Viewers, listen. We want you to come back, and he might have his glory moment. He might not come back, but we're going to take a break right now. Go join. Come back with us. He's done got me tongue-tied.
With you.
All right, we're going to break. See you just in a few. The United Kennel Club World Coonhound Championship would like to thank its prize sponsors: Bright Eyes, Easy Loader, Dan's Hunting Gear, Dogs Are Treed, Mule and Okie, Razor Vest, Owens, and Tier 1 Custom Call.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
Do you love dog shows but dread the paperwork? Introducing UKC's online event entry service. Offer your exhibitors the ease of entering your club events right from the UKC event calendar, making entering your show and paying by card a breeze. Gone are the days of managing bookkeeping for each pre-entry transaction. With the UKC online event entry service, UKC will handle the pre-entries and send your club the collected entry fees and list of entered dogs 15 days before your event, allowing you the time to focus on other event details. Free for clubs, easy for exhibitors. Head to the UKC news section of ukcdogs.com to learn more and streamline your next event. UKC Online Event Entry Service, for dogs that do more.
Clayton Stark here, getting ready to take the dogs to the woods tonight using the Dogter Pathfinder 2 GPS tracking system.
It's been an absolute unbelievable journey and what we do from a small little company to a multi-million-dollar corporation. It's pretty cool. We enjoy what we do. We service our customers very well. We come and sit here and repair product for people on the spot where they don't have to mail it and wait to get it back. We just take pride in doing every aspect of the business, not just selling the lights, but taking care of the customer as well. The United Kennel Club, when I was growing up in my teens, I started hunting in some of their competition hunts. Mainly me and my dad. We'd just go and enjoy ourselves and do that. And I got a little bit older and ended up becoming a master of hounds, bench show judge for them. And I've just been involved with them. I've known for years most all the guys that have come through and been in the hunting ops portion of it, and always had a close relationship with most of them. I mean, business is business, and I understand you got to do business, but there's nothing wrong with being friends while you're doing business if you can. Like being a master of hounds, I've worked a lot of hunts for a lot of people. I've worked a lot of major events, black and tan days, different things. I've judged down here at the Winter Classic. If they need help, I'll go there and do it if I can, if there's any way I can, and never charge a dime. And then giving back to the hunters, you know, the hunters have kept me up for the last 25 years. And I would be absolutely crazy not to give back to the hunters. You don't, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, you try to take care of it. You know, you take care of your business that way, and the customers will take care of you if you take care of them.
Welcome back to the 2024 UKC World Coonhound Championship, Midnight Mayhem. We are glad that you're back, but unfortunately, I'm still joined by Rick Stretch. He made it back. We're maybe going to come back to his moment of fame here just in a moment, but also Steve Burkholder is with us as well. We're glad that you're here. We're in Marshall, Illinois tonight, and we're having a great time. Just hearing about the teams that are advancing into round two, moving through round one. And just in a moment, I'm sure we're going to be jumping right back out to the field. Action has been quick, it's been fast, and a lot of coons have been being treed. And so we're getting ready to go right now, just in a few moments, out to the field. But before we do, guys, I want to ask a question. This is Rick's moment right here. We might not be able to get the answer, but at least we can get started on it. We'll get an answer. I thought we would, okay. Before we came, Alan gave us a copy of all the previous world champions from 1978 all the way through to last year with Cookie. And so I want you guys to look at that. And what I want you to do, I want you to think from the standpoint, if you could judge a final four of four dogs that have won the world hunt in years past, and this is your chance, Rick, right here. I want you to mark the four dogs that you would love to have on the final cast to judge. And I want to see who these final four would be. So I'm going to let you guys set that up for just a moment, and then we will talk about it. So the viewers, remember, we're talking about dogs that's from 1978 to 2023. We're talking about dogs like Fuller's Red Rooster, Mullins' Sugar Creek Rip, Hannah's Creek Mac Attack, Mike Carmack. We're talking about Handsome Hank, X Junior. Just looking down through here, Chuck. You have Insane Jane. You have Rocky Creek Jess. I'm just kind of jumping all the way through. There's a dog on here even called Frisky that won the World Hunt.
Tip your hat whenever you
Frisky that we'll talk about. I'm sure she's going to be on somebody's list tonight. And so I'm excited to see what these guys, the 4 that they would love to judge. And they're looking pretty hard. Do you have your 4, Steve?
Not yet.
Not yet. Rick, do you have your 4?
I don't. I'm trying to pick dogs that I never hunted with that I think that I would enjoy.
I thought you would be picking Frisky in your 3 victims.
No, I hunted with her plenty, and she's right there at the top of the list.
She's right there at the top of the list.
Yeah, I looked down through here, and Steve and I have hunted with many of these dogs, and it's crazy that the number of dogs that you have forgotten that you've hunted with, but that you see them on this list here. I've marked one here that everybody assumes I probably hunted with, but I never hunted with Rodeo prior to him winning the World Hunt.
Okay, so have you got your 4, Steve?
I don't have 4, but I mean, I've got.
You got enough?
Yeah.
All right, so who would be your cast that you would love to judge and why?
Well, I mean, for me, just because I never got to hunt with a dog, and I know Rick has, but I would have been loved to be on a cast with Pac-Man.
He's on my list as well.
Just because, again, I come in the hunts, heard a lot about the dog. That would probably be at the top of my list to have him on a cast. Fortunately for me, competing in the World Hunt for so many years. And then also judging some finals, being on some final casts and stuff, starting from pretty much 94 on, I've hunted with quite a few of these dogs. So, but Pac-Man would certainly be at the top of that list. Never got to hunt with a John the Baptist dog, heard a lot of good stuff about him. Letting Loose Lila, Gerald Keegan, I got the pleasure hunt with her, many, many nights.
Okay.
He would have to be on the top of the list. I'd love to be able to revisit this sometime in the night where I have a little bit more time to look at it. Certainly what I would say would be the dream Final 4 for me to judge.
So keep that, and we'll come back. I think we're going to have to jump out to the field. And Rick, when we come back, we'll come to your list, all right?
Okay, very good.
And so, Alan, who do you have with us?
Well, hey guys, this time I have Michael Wilson from Arkansas here, and he's got a black and tan called Nasty that he co-owns with Darren Holloman. Did I say that right? And Brian Hoskins, I guess. Tell us a little bit about your dog here.
Well, he's a 5-year-old first Superman pup. There was. He's off my Sadie 2 female. Brian's done a really good job with him. He's just a coon training machine. He's just got real good radar. He just, you never know where he's going to go. He just pops up coons, just like he's supposed to.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Superman's a pretty popular black and tan sire out of Kentucky. Micah Ayers and them own Superman. So, yeah, he's got some good breeding here behind. But tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight.
Well, it's kind of one of them hunts that was a whole lot of uneventful. We treated a circle, treat a coon, treat another circle, and then just stayed in the crops all night. So it's pretty uneventful after that.
Yes. So you being from Arkansas, how does your hunting compare to what they have here? A lot of difference?
I hunt big bottoms, thousands of acres of big timber, so he's not really used to all these crops too much, so it was a little different for sure.
Well, it looks like he was the best tonight in his cast, at least anyway, but tell us a little bit more about the dog. What is it that you like about him? What's his hunting style like?
Well, he's a mid-range dog most of the time, 400 or 500 yards, but he'll tree every coon in the woods before he leaves out. And then, he can get gone if you dry hole him or whatever, but he just got a really good radar on him. I mean, he's just got a natural knowing where they're at and getting under them quick. That's his specialty. So.
Yeah, you mentioned your partner here, Brian Haskins. He's in the air conditioning business, and he hunts the dog part of the year, and the rest of the year you hunt him.
He hunts Winter Classic and a lot of sectionals in the fall and winter because in the summer he can't get off work, so it kind of works out great. He's like I say, he's had him most of the time, and he's done a great job training him and getting him hunted up. So.
Yeah, have you talked to Brian since you've been back in tonight?
I've been texting him the whole hunt, so he's going crazy. He probably won't get no sleep tonight, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, well, hey, there you go, Brian. He's got nasty in the final or in the semifinals for Friday's round number 2 here. So congratulations, and back to you guys.
All right, congratulations to those guys coming out of Arkansas. And what do you guys see on the card? It's a little bit interesting. He had to survive here.
Yeah, he had a 3-dog cast, and it was tough out there where they were at. He's not lying about that. Looks like his little dog had scored on three trees, and he took 125 minus on the first tree. Must have decided to move on, got circled on that, and then come back and treat a coon, and then got another circle. One dog never made a tree during the hunt time, and the other dog made a circle and took a little bit of minus. So they had the kind of hunt that I thought a few of them might have tonight, and I'm not sure where they went, or looks like Kelby Eubank was their guide, but they should have been down there around Newton, Willow Hill, and that area down there. I think Kelby's family's from down in there, some great hunting down there, but they had a little bit of a night like I thought we might see more of.
And that's just, like we said, I think we was talking to a guy earlier today, and he was talking that he went in on Friday night, maybe during the zones, and had a dead cast and went back the next night and scored on 9
Yeah, I heard
coons.
that conversation.
I heard that, and so that could be the very same situation. You know, you can great hunting and things just don't work as well. So we're going to come back to you now to give you your moment of fame here. Who do you have as your picks that you would love to walk behind?
Well, I got 4 dogs that I don't think I ever hunted with. And the first one was Kansas Sizzling Heat, plot male dog that won the world hunt. I always heard a lot about him. Some guys that I know had a little bit of that bloodline in them, and I would have liked to hunt with that one. I never got to hunt with Wild Joey of Tony Davidex, and I never got to hunt with Tricolor Tom Tom. Did you, Steve, hunt with Tom Tom?
I did not, no.
I think that was a fabulous dog. Larry Prue had that dog. And then my last one, the first one I mentioned was Rodeo. I never got to hunt with him before he won the world hunt.
My quick ones were, just so we can keep moving, I agree with Steve on the one Beller's Pac-Man, Beller's Pac-Man. I'd love to see that one. I wanted to see Heat go and see how he would function in a cast. And then I picked one as well, we would say an off-color dog, the Buck 2 dog of Jeff Nelson's. I would like to see how he would have. And then a dog that impressed me as a field rep was the Jenna dog of Cheyenne and Tyler Compton's. I'd like to see how, and she just put a show on that night. But we can come back and visit that. We got to go to the field right now because we got another hunter in. So let's see who we got out there, Alan. Who we got?
Yeah, this time, this dog right here might look familiar to you. I don't know. She is the defending world champion, and this is Snooky's Cookie. I'm here with Justin Davenport back here, co-owner here, along with his the late Stephen Davenport, his dad, and then Shane Groves. Shane got Cookie back in the through the first round.
Yep. She treated a coon for 175, made a circle tree for 150, and each dog in the cast treated a coon, and then made some trees, and that's about the extent of it. Wasn't nothing real exciting.
Yeah. Justin, how about you? What does this mean to have a Cookie back here after the first round in the world hunt again?
It's a dream come true again. It's just something that's unreal. She's been real good to us. Not much.
Dad would be smiling again, wouldn't he?
He is for sure. We got a couple daughters of hers in the Super Stakes again, and we got one more that won early, so maybe he'll double up late, another pup out of her, so sure exciting.
Yeah, I remember very well a year ago, your dad was just all smiles there about Friday and Saturday, and good for him. He finally won a world championship with this dog, and I know it meant a whole lot to him, and that was good to see. But Shane, I know you've hunted Cookie a lot here in the last couple of years. What do you like about her?
She's nothing flashy, just trees coons. You know, she gives you a shot to win every time. She's kind of like me, built low to the ground for speed and accuracy. She's a little heavy, so you know we fit in real well there. You know, I wouldn't call her fat. She's just short for her weight, but that's why I like her.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you start talking this, all I can think of is the days old Butthead Red. You've come a long way since those days, haven't you?
Sorta. Yeah. Sorta. Yeah, he was a real coon dog.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So
That Butthead Red, though, you know that, don't
If you
you?
find a good red bone, I'm interested.
Well, hey, me too. But, hey, so what does this mean here for defending world champion and coming back and getting through the first round? Just.
Well, it's a pretty good feeling, mainly for Steve. That's the only reason, or the big reason, you know. I'm super happy about that, and mainly for doing it for Steve, you know.
Yeah. So, hey, 7-year-old, she's one of the oldest dogs here in the hunt again, among that group of the oldest dogs here. You think that helps her here?
Sure, absolutely. It does. A little more experience, you know. See what happens.
Yeah, she's obviously a well-known dog, has done a lot of winning, not just in UKC, a world champion, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people watching Snooky's Cookie to see how far she can go here. So, hey, congratulations, guys. We'll see you tomorrow in round number 2. So there you go. Snooky's Cookie's back in.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo. I think Cookie was done with the interview before everybody else was. She was yawning and wanted to get off the bench. I've been here before, just get it done so we can go rest.
Alan kind of took a chance there talking to Shane a little bit longer than we probably wanted him to, but it worked out fine. It worked out great.
So tell us what you see on the card here with Cookie.
Well, I mean, she has 50 and 125 on a coon, kind of like Shane had shared. Another dog had actually 75 and 125 on a coon, but ended up looking like it made a minus tree, or it got some minus points there. A pretty competitive cast, like you said, and she did just enough to win. And I've hunted with a little female quite a bit, competed against her. You know, she has a knack of winning these type of casts, and I can tell you, she has a knack of winning them ones where you're scoring a bunch too, because she can put them up in a hurry. And hey, you know what? Them guys are on a roll with her. You know what's amazing?
They've been on a roll.
Yeah, they've been on a roll. You know what's amazing? And along the way, they're still finding a way where she's being able to, raise a litter of pups here and there.
Yeah.
And you heard what he said. I mean, it's really pretty incredible. A lot of times, male dogs tend to get the spotlight and all that. But here's a little female that is just as popular as any male dog out there, winning a world hunt, having pups on the ground. And we know, I mean, she can, she in her career may raise 15, 20 puppies, as per to say, whereas a male dog may sire 500 pups. So to have 2 of them in the super stakes, another one an early cast winner tonight, that little female is special to them. And just to reiterate what they said, being friends with Steve, Justin's dad, for so many years, and obviously him not being able to be here, I'm sure he's looking down smiling on what's going on for sure.
Yeah. And I'm glad you touched on that, because we wanted the viewers to understand, with Steve passing just a few months ago, being with us at the World Hunt last year when he won it, and then passing, and what it means to them. And I know that it has to touch Justin's heart to continue to move this.
I can tell you, as having lost my own father several years ago, anytime I would come home from a hunt like this, some of my fondest memories is Dad would call, and he always wanted to know how I did the weekend before. Yeah. And when that it's tough. It's tough when that phone call goes away. Yeah. So certainly certainly thinking of Justin and his family, and I can guarantee this is pretty special for him, for sure.
So you were on that world champion list, just 60 seconds here.
All right, 60
and
seconds.
It started in 78, and here we are in 2024. Never a dual winner.
Could it be this year?
Could it be this year? I made the mention earlier in the day that nobody's won Autumn Oaks the National Grands and the World Hunt in the same year. But here we've got a shot at a dual, first time in history, a dual winner.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's important. That's we've got a shot at some history.
And I would guarantee that the dog and the handler are ready.
They're ready.
They're
Sure,
ready.
They're ready.
They're ready.
Yeah, that whole group's ready.
Yeah. So let's jump back out to the field. Alan, who you got?
Well, hey guys, I've got another dog here from Kentucky, a 4-year-old, and she fits right in there with the group of dogs that we have the most of as a 4-year-old. This is Star, scored 375 plus tonight, owned by Zach Vaught here and John Strickland. Zach, congratulations. Tell us a little bit. Who is Star here?
Star's out of Silverado Dan and I believe Nocturnal Smoke.
Yeah, that's some of Whitey Marshall's breeding down there in Kentucky. So tell us about your hunt tonight. 375, pretty decent score.
Yep, struck under the minute. She drove about 200 yards in, treated coon, recut with another dog treed, split from her probably about 30 yards, recut her. She goes right around the hillside, makes a circle tree, get her recut. She made a mistake, went back to it and got her recut, and then she goes to trees another one. We've made, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 trees, I guess, tonight, but she treed the only 2 coons at the beginning of the hunt, and I think the black dog ended up with the coon there at the very end.
Yeah, there you go. So you told me you only had her here for the last couple of months, like since June maybe, something like that?
Yeah, we got her at the beginning of June. She actually came out of heat last Wednesday, so we kind of got lucky with that, going to the zones and stuff. And I think she scored, combined score both nights, I think it was like 1375 or 1475 at the zones.
Oh yeah, so she's capable of putting up a good score. So several years ago, you were in the, you got past the first round, top 7, top 10 anyways in the world hunt here. What do you think your chances looking like with Star here?
She's a lot like Joy. She's not going to pass them up. She can get deep. I think that second coon, she was like 0.72. But she gets in pocket coon, she can just tree them just like squirrels, so I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, so being in Kentucky, it's a little up and down here. So how does this compare to back home?
Coons are a lot more thick here. We don't have quite the coon population, but they took us to a spot about an hour north from here, and she was very used to the terrain. Some other cast members didn't much like it, but she was used to it. So
yeah, there you go. So, all right, we've got Star in the finals for tomorrow. So, congratulations here to Zach Vaught, and we will see him tomorrow.
Well, congratulations to that Kentucky duo. And something Zach said that I'll mention, and then, kind of just in the coming to a hunt of this magnitude, you don't really know where you're going to draw. I mean, he coming out of the hills of Kentucky, and you would think coming to Illinois, you're in flatland, but you drove an hour, and I'm assuming he was speaking to land being a little hilly, a little rolly there or something.
Yeah, it sounded like it. And we didn't mention it a while ago, but I think, did you say that some of them went to Rockville?
At least one went to Rockville.
One went to Rockville, so there's a chance they might have got into something there. A little bit more towards Greencastle could be.
Matter of fact, it's right on here. It's Rockville, Indiana.
Rockville,
That's where they went. Yeah.
Okay. I've been in some
King.
tough hills up there at Rockville.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy Inslee was their guy.
And that's what, you never know. And so these dogs have to be prepared.
And you heard him say that they've got plenty of coons. I mean, it's a good coon hunting place up there, but it can be a little bit rougher.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to the duo. What's the card tell us?
Well, he won the cast with 375 plus. Another decent score for here. Treat on 2 coons, and I can tell you, he drew out some good dogs. He had the Tyson dog, Kurt Arings, in the cast. He had the Gaucho dog that come out of our zone.
Triple Crown.
Triple Crown.
In the
running for the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
So that dog's no stranger. So they had a tough cast, and it looks like he got the better part of a couple coons and kept his nose clean. So
all right. Well, the Kentucky duo will be back tomorrow night, and we've already got a report. We've got another one in from the field. So let's see. Who do you have, Alan?
Well, hey, I've got another dog from North Carolina again this time, and this guy's got a little bit of a different name. His name is Stink. So Taylor Webb, here's the owner and handler. Tell us about Stink.
Well, he's a 4-year-old dog. Bought him when he was 4 months old from a gentleman not far from the house, and he's been really good to us. He's been easy to start and train, and he's been fun. So
Yeah. Well, hey, what's his hunting style like? Big old dog here.
he's a bigger hunting style dog. He's he's totally independent. He's just sometimes I wished he was a little bit closer hunting style, but he's done some winning here lately, so I'll take it.
There you go. Well, getting through the first round of the world hunt, well, you can't complain too much. He's looking, I don't think he liked what I was telling him a little bit ago. He's kind of giving me that bloodhound eyeballs here a little bit. But hey, tell us about your hunt tonight.
So we started out, another dog ended up, they made a circle tree, reflipped. He was still at large. One dog ended up treeing a coon, thought it put us out because he was getting out of pocket, and then ended up, that dog took 2 different blanks on 2 different trees, and he got treed by himself and went in there and had a coon, and then ended up recutting him, and he treed a coon after the hunt. So
yeah. So how do you like this Illinois hunting as compared to back home?
we hunt in Illinois a little bit, so I enjoy it. It's y'all got a few more coons than we have. So
yeah. So who's this feller back here in the back?
This is Alan. This is Alan Hedgecock. He hunts with me a lot around the house. So he's got to ride up and down the road with me here.
So you're the truck man here.
I'm the truck man.
Giving him a little. You're the hype man, maybe.
I'm the cheerleader.
Yeah. Cheerleader, yeah. So, all right. Hey, Taylor Webb, congratulations, guys, and you're in for Friday night here in round number 2. So we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate it. All right, guys, back to you.
All right. Well, congratulations to those guys, and it's good to have support. He's got a partner with him, cheering him on, being his biggest fan. And so, what do you guys see on the card?
Well, he struck for a quarter one time and treed for 125 one time and had a coon scored, and it's a little bit of an uneventful scorecard. 2 dogs had a circle tree apiece, and John Bishop's dog. John's a local right here, a blue tick guy for years and years and years, and John's dog actually pulled the first blood there on a coon, and then drew a couple slicks. It sounded like there on the score, but. Yeah, once again, no minus.
Yeah.
Plus points, advances, and no minus.
And you can imagine if our viewers being a part of the cast, sounds like his dog got pretty deep and was maybe trying to get worked into area to hear the dog. Maybe sometimes we've all been there where you don't know if you're going to get the right place to hear the dog, but he did. So congratulations to that team. They've advanced, and we already have another duo out with Mr. Allen. So who do you have?
Well, hey guys, this time I've got Josh Sizemore from Kentucky with a dog owned by Mr. Jerry Raines. We just changed her name this week, I think, from Stilts to Silk.
Yeah, that's all he's been worried about, is getting her name changed.
Yeah, and you turn the papers in. So, yeah, scored 450 plus. Tell us a little bit about the dog. What's the breeding behind this dog?
She's out of Big Money and out of a Bone Collector female. That's all I know about her.
Well, hey, those dogs are winning a lot these days, I'm telling you. Hey, so tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight.
Had a good hunt. We drove about 30 minutes up to Robinson. Thomas Bale guided us. Cut loose. She made a circle tree out of the truck, and then went on to tree 3 singles. Had to have them. There was 2 more dogs in the cast, had 3 1/4 plus. So she had to have that last one to win. But I think we ended up scoring on 8 singles altogether, and probably seen 15 or 20 setting up. So had a great hunt.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. So how long have you been hunting this dog?
I've had her probably since back in the winter. Jerry sent her up to me probably back to, I'm going to say February or March or somewhere right around there. So I've had her for 8 or 9 months now, I guess.
Yeah, so tell us a bit. I'm sure you've probably put her in several other hunts. What other hunts have you done well with her?
None at all. We've been on a losing streak, and Jerry's got more patience than anything I can ever imagine, because we have gotten beat everywhere we went.
Jerry Raines has patience?
This time he does.
Well, hey, I remember the Jerry Raines from back in the day, and he didn't have much patience at all.
Well, he has with me, and I told him, I said, Jerry, she's going to win something big. I said, we just can't catch a break. And, I'm confident with her that, coming up here, I told him, I said, either 1 or 2 things is going to happen. She's going to leave all the way across Illinois, or we're going to win the UKC World Hunt with her. So tonight she stayed in pocket, and if she stays in pocket and keeps her head straight, she's a hard little dog to beat. She gets in pockets of coons and can tree them, 100, 200 yards apart. But if she gets in her mind she wants to leave, she's gonna get going somewhere.
Yeah, well, hey, we talked about the 4-year-olds, and here's another four-year-old right here, Silk. So congratulations, Josh. We'll see you Friday and round number 2. So back to you guys.
All right, well, congratulations to that duo, and sounds like what a great time to come off a losing streak. This is a good one.
I would say so, and they talk about Jerry. We've known Jerry for, I don't know, several decades. And
how old are you?
Several decades.
Okay, that's
and anyway, but we've known Jerry for, I don't know, I don't remember the first time I hunted with Jerry, but daggum, I was a kid, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And a colorful man, daggum, and he's a
tough competitor.
Tough competitor. Always had a pretty good dog that stayed out there, and he always had a dog that would stay treed. It wouldn't get moved off much or wouldn't get moved around much. He always had one that he could handle when it got in there. But I pledged her with Jerry a few years back, probably 2-3 years back, and we had the best time. I've hunted with Jerry off and on, and he owns that dog that Josh is hunting. But I think she was a PR dog.
What do you?
Another
that's what I was going to say. What do you say?
Another PR dog.
But why wouldn't she be? Because she never wins anything.
According to Josh.
According to Josh.
And hey, this is the second time tonight that we've heard. And it can change that quick. I can tell you. I mean, you can go on a streak and don't think you can lose, and then hit that losing streak and don't know if you're ever going to win again. And
I'm sure they would be okay with having a world title on before they would put a night champion.
Those
title
two
on.
have seen something in her that is the reason they still got her here.
100%.
They've seen it.
Now, did she score on 1 or 2? What did she actually have on the card?
She scored on 3.
3.
And had to have the third one. I mean, there's 3 1/4, 3 1/4, and what the card shows, she was at 300, so had to have that last coon. She was behind, had to have that last coon at the end of the hunt to win.
All right.
And they scored on 8. That's a good hunt.
Yeah, they said they've seen several setting up too. Hey, we already got another report from the field. So who do you have with you, Alan?
Well, hey guys, this time I've got another 7-year-old female out of Virginia. This is Bruce Huffman, the owner and handler. Records still indicate a Mr. Ralph Ogden as the owner, but I guess Bruce has sent his papers in and you're waiting on them. That's right. So we'll try to get them to you as soon as we possibly can. But Uno is his female here, scored 475 tonight. Tell us a little bit about your hunt.
It was a good hunt. Got on a coon, the whole cast did on the first one, and then pre-cut, she got deep and got by herself, and then went and scored another tree. The other guy's dog did a good job, and then she got deep again. Got another coon right there at the end, and then he scored his last coon too, but edged him out.
Yeah, there you go, 470. That's a pretty good score here for a couple coons here. So what is it that you like about this dog? What's her hunting style like?
She likes it by herself, deep and by herself, and she's accurate.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly where you are in Virginia, but you got to be in the hills.
Oh, we're in the mountains right there in Roanoke.
Yeah, so how does it's a little bit different hunting around here?
It's nice around here. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot easier. So, hey, what is Uno out of here?
She's Tequila Sunrise on top and Bone Collector on the bottom.
Yeah, I got you. So you said you've had her about a year now, and that's about a year. So yeah, what does your hunting look like leading up to the zones and the World Finals here hunting in Virginia?
It's rough.
I'm talking about. Do you hunt her a lot? What?
Hunt a lot, just about every night. She's in the woods somewhere, in the hunt somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we've got a Virginia dog here in the round number 2. Bruce Huffman with Unos. Moving on to Friday.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo. I've known them for years, and Bruce is right. Hunting where he lives there on 220 just before Roanoke is a little different than the hunting out here, and I am sure that dog is being hunted, and I see he has his partner Randy with him as well, so congratulations to that duo. And what do you see, guys?
Well, we see another dog here that's treeing raccoons and not doing anything else but that. And she was cast 3 times and had come up with 3 coons. They scored on 5 coons, looks like, according to the scorecard. There was another dog here, Mike, right here, a local dog from Richard Harrison owns this dog from Terre Haute. He had 450 on the cast, and the winner had 475. So it was a run and gun, but she treated one more coon than Mike.
So we've seen the last probably 2 or 3 casts that's come in. They've been a little more, a little closer than what we've seen of the early cast coming in. That was kind of spread. You know, one dog kind of dominated, but now it's kind of getting to little dogs being a little bit closer and things. So just congratulations to that duo, and I'm sure they'll be ready for the next round as well. So we're actually already getting a report that we have another one already in. It's happening fast. So Mr. Allen, what do you have?
Yeah, guys, I've got another world champion back here, Mr. Naylor himself out of Missouri, Mr. Jess Dickerson here. Congratulations, Jess.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this dog, Trump here. You co-own him with Rusty Jones, and what is he?
He's just a good coon treer that goes hunting strong, and that's probably his strong points. He's off of Zach McBee's hunter dog, and out of a female I had that had a lot of ex-junior Naylor in her. And we bred her, and funny way to get him bought. I owned her with, me and Eldon Prettyman owned her mom. And you guys know his name's Trump, right? Well, Eldon's a Democrat. And I don't want to bring politics into it.
You already have. But
anyway,
that's okay, though.
First of all, I didn't name him. Neither did Eldon, or we had let a guy have this dog as a pup, and he gave him back to us. Eldon hunted him, and he said, Mudslinger looked good last night. And I said, what's Mudslinger? He said, that dog we got back from Randy. He wouldn't even call his name. And I said, well, his name's Trump. I said, it'll be Trump when he dies. Not that I'm a fan of Trump so much, but, you know, the guy has his times.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Hey, Rusty, I guess you've been hunting the dog for Jess. You do most of the hunting with him?
Yeah. Back up.
Yeah.
Rusty owns half of him. Eldon said, I'm not hunting a dog named Trump. And I called Rusty and I said, call Eldon and buy that dog. He called him and bought him.
He took the money down.
So Rusty is half owner.
I said, just take that money down to Eldon before he changes his mind.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you later.
Yeah. So you must like the dog, Rusty. Tell us a little bit about him. What's his hunting style like?
He's a good hunter. He has a lot of heart. He hustles good. He will keep you in the game. He loves to cruise around. Moves really good. Doesn't get bogged down. Really good about having coons, and he's a fun dog to hunt. Whenever you're walking in to a tree where you really need to have a coon, that's a good walk.
Yeah. So hey, guys, here we go again with another 4-year-old. We've talked about 4-year-olds a lot, and we're seeing a bunch of them moving on here in the first round here. 425 you scored tonight. Tell us a little bit about your hunt.
I struck for 75 right out of the truck. I treated a coon. Another dog backed me on that one. Then he kind of got a little bit out of pocket, and a couple other dogs made some circle trees, some slick trees, and I got him treed in right at the end of the hunt. And if he had that coon, that was going to sew it up. So got him treed in, walked our tails off to him, and he had that coon, which by the time we made it to that tree, that hunt was over. So saw that coon, had it sewed up. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, there you go. Well, congratulations. Jess, it's been a bunch of years since you won the World Championship with ex-junior. Here you are again. You've been here a bunch, but what would it mean to come back and win this hunt again for you?
It'd be really sweet to have Rusty to win it. It'd be really nice. I used to haul Rusty around to these youth hunts when he was 14 years old. They didn't know me very well, or they probably wouldn't let the 14-year-old kid go with me.
Yeah, I've listened to some of those podcasts. They talk to Russ, some interesting stuff you've been through already.
Oh yeah, the prison in Columbia City was probably takes the cake on everything.
That was with Skipper, wasn't it?
That was her littermate sister, or his littermate sister Tipper.
Tipper, that's right. It was Tipper. Yeah.
I was at the zones in Columbia City, Indiana, in 2001, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had that cast one, and then she'd get you in some situation, and it's one of them deals, you know. People still ask me about it, and it's a funny story now. I didn't think it was very funny at the time, but
Yeah, I'm sure. You're talking about my hometown, my home club there. So I don't think we even realized it was happening at the time until later there. But yeah.
Yeah, it was at Chain of Lakes.
That's a beautiful place to hunt over there too. Yeah, it's called Chain of Lakes. Yep.
Yeah, and that was it was frustrating, but Jess came back and won the world hunt that year, so it's kind of, I don't say bittersweet, but
yeah, there you go.
Well, tell them a little about when Rusty got into prison. He goes out there and has to knock on the guard gate, and they had a little building out there where the guard slept. He had to get the guard awake. They had to go in the prison, and then I'll let Rusty tell the rest of it because. Yeah.
Well, hey, just so folks know what we're talking about, his dog got out of pocket on him, ended up inside this prison complex.
Yep, inside. I don't know. The guard was asking me, how'd she get in there? I'm like, dude, I don't know, but you might want to look and find out.
They didn't take you in through the gates to begin with, you and the dog both?
No. That's probably really where she belonged, was in a prison, if I want to be quite honest. But no, he drove us down. It was a Chevy Venture minivan, a white Chevy Venture minivan. I'll never forget it. It had plastic on the carpet, and we go down there, and she's got a coon treed right by a little softball field, and I'm on timeout. And by the time we get down there, get her, somebody came out of the prison and hollered at us, "Hey, what are y'all doing down there? You're interrupting our movie." And I don't really know what to do. I just want to get her and get out as fast as I can, right? So it was. So we got her and got her back, and timeout caught me, so I got scratched. So that's how that ended up. But
yeah, well, hey, there you go. We got sideways here a little bit, but there's a little story for you. And really, with a dog named Trump here, we should probably not. We should be talking about him here, probably. That's right. So, all right. Hey, 4:25 tonight. Congratulations, Rusty. We'll see you tomorrow. Round number 2. All right, there you go, guys.
All right, well, congratulations, and it's always good to hear a story of the past, and that was kind of interesting in itself, but congratulations to Trump, and we're not going to bring politics into it, but I hope we say that a little bit later, too, in November, but I just brought it up, sorry, all right. What do we see on the card?
Well, I tell you what, he scored on 2 coons and won the cast, and they scored on 6, so, that's it was a competitive cast. It looks like each dog at some point in time scored on a coon on itself, by itself, and the one that had 2, I believe, looking at the card, probably pulled a minus or so, and probably that ultimately cost them the cast. I tell you, it really a true testament to what I'm seeing on the cards as far as our guides here, because I can tell you there's multiple casts, and I know you're kind of keeping track of it, Rick, I believe. Multiple casters scoring on multiple coons. And that's given dogs an opportunity to showcase their talent.
Our average is probably between 3 and 4 right now. I'm thinking.
And no dead cast up to this point.
No dead cast.
And here's what I'm going to share with you too. I mean, looking at this, and we talked about it, past world champions, and there's a lot of world champions hunting here this weekend that have either.
Yeah, did a Kennel.
How many? I'm thinking somewhere around.
Alan introduced him as Mr. World Champion. There is 23 world champions competing in these 27 casts tonight. I'm counting dogs. Now these are dogs that have won a world hunt, either the dog or the owner at the time or the handler at the time. There's 23 experienced dogs, handlers, and owners that have won a world hunt that are competing. Now they've won them in different registries and things like that. But that shows you the quality of hounds that we've got to this final here this weekend. It's phenomenal.
Yep. Well, we already have another one waiting on us. So, Alan, who do you have tonight?
Well, yeah, hey, guys, I've got another Tennessee entry this time. A dog named Downtime scored 350 plus tonight. And we don't see Mr. Nicky Hale that often, but we're tickled to have him here at the World Hunt with his dog. Call him Time, I guess. But congratulations, man. Tell us a little bit about the dog here.
He's just a hard hunting, hustling, good strike dog, which that comes from his genetics. That's a full throttle deal. Hey, most of them strike good. But,
well, yeah, our audience has probably heard of the sire of him, dog named Meltdown.
Yeah, that's his daddy. He's a whole lot like his daddy. Not as good as his daddy, but a whole lot like him. Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically raised him from a pup on, right?
Born at my house, yeah.
Yeah, so we've talked about 4-year-olds here. Here we've got another 4-year-old moving on. So tell us about your hunt tonight.
We cut them loose first drop. I can't remember dogs' names real good, but one struck to the left. Time strikes to the right. Another dog puts in with me for 50. They just sprawl out. The first dog that struck got treed. Just a few seconds after he treed, I treed mine to the right. Another boy treed right in behind me. They go to score them, send us in there to handle our dogs. We get in there and they're split. He had a coon for 2 1/4. I've got one for 200. The other boy had a circle tree. I think the little female maybe treed and left. Of course, I cut right back loose, and then it was a journey. The dog had 2 1/4. It went a mile one way. We got almost to him. Don't really know what happened, but he quit treeing, took a minus. So we had to walk back kind of where we last heard the other ones, and the dog that got circled that was split with me got treed. He treed him 600-700 yards to the left. Mine's treed just a little over a mile through the country, and didn't really need to tree him at that time. This dog can't beat me. The other boys took a minus. I'd love to have been able to go see what they had, but the way it was sprawled out, I didn't know if we'd have time, so I just went ahead and treed mine and went in there. There's 40 minutes, I think, left in the hunt when I got to him. Hunt had been up 15 minutes when they finally got to me. I didn't really have to have a coon to win, but he had a coon, another coon right there.
Well, it sounds like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Doing a lot of walking, it sounds like. But hey, I know you primarily hunt in other registries and stuff, and I know you won quite a bit with this dog, and he's been on a streak. Tell us about some of those.
He's won a little bit. We honestly hadn't hunted this dog a whole lot. He had a brother. Meltdown only had 4 puppies. He was never did have no puppies till we got him, and I hunted his older brother primarily. Heads Up was his name, and at the Nationals, he had fell out of a tree and twisted his gut and died probably 2 days later. So this one was kind of standing in line, and it's been a blessing too because he's picked up the slack. We won a side-by-side with him 3 or 4 weeks ago, got in the finals of 2 or 3 more hunts. He's a winner. Yeah.
Hey, Nicky, you've done a lot of winning over the past a lot of years, really. Yeah. How does a veteran like you coming into a hunt like this? Do you have any strategies? What do you look at it? Does the dog really tell you what it needs? What does a veteran like you? How do you get a dog ready for a hunt?
I just hunt them. I coon hunt. That's first thing I do is coon hunt, and these hunts are second. And I hunt the type of dog I think can win, and he'll win this hunt if he does what he's supposed to. That's a fact. He can't hardly beat him on strike most of the time. He's got coons when he trees. If he goes out there and trees coons, he'll win. That's just when he loses, he loses. Most time dogs don't beat him, but that's all I can say about him.
There you go. Well, hey, congratulations. Nicky Hale on Downtime. He's in for round number 2 on Friday.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo, and I think he said it best probably. He can win this thing, and I would say people better understand that. So what do you see, guys?
I can tell you there's not a person on this fairground or that come to this top 108 any more confident that he could win this world championship than Nicky Hill. I've been around him. I've competed against him. We both have for a lot of years. I don't care what you're hunting. I don't care what he's hunting. Know this: when you draw him out, you're hunting against someone that's very well prepared, and you're hunting against a dog that's probably very capable of winning any cast they're put in. And you heard him. This dog is. Them dogs by nature get their mouths open, and in this name of the game, it's a timed event. If you can get out of the truck and get a good strike and capitalize on that good strike right out of the truck, they got to beat 2 to beat you. And that's this dog's forte. And that's what, looking at the card, that's a little bit what happened with him tonight.
Now, is this dog, knowing Nicky hunts a lot of other registries, is it a night champion or is it another registered dog?
No, it's another PR dog.
Another PR
dog.
Yeah.
We've got a handful of them in here now.
It's, I tell you, it's kudos to United Kennel Club and what they're doing here and stuff too. You've seen a lot of these dogs coming in here and hunting at the World Hunt. It's an enjoyable hunt to hunt. And, every hunter will tell you this is still probably today the most prestigious title to win of all hunts. Because we're very fortunate. We're very blessed right now in the fields that we have and the registries that we get to compete with. That's probably another big difference to our point we talked about earlier. What do we see from 1978 till now? Back then, that was the only thing to compete in, and now there's so many other areas that they can go compete in and showcase their abilities. So,
talking about the premier event, I remember a podcast Alan did. Not necessarily know, it was a few months ago that he talked about the late Randy Leonard, and all of us know Randy. And when Randy won the World Hunt at Elizabethtown, Kentucky, Alan made the comment that Randy said something along the lines, "Son, you could not. I've been trying to win this hunt for 32 years or something like that." And I can hear Randy saying that, and it just made me think about Nikki there. So we got another one in the field. So let's see what Alan has.
Yeah, hey guys, I've got another dog here. This time a 3-year-old named Flash right here. Storm Hayes handled the dog, scored 500 plus tonight. But the owner back here hiding back here behind me is Mr. Trace Searles. Now I'm going to tell you a quick little story. Trace him and his cousin Zach were about this tall, knee-high to a grasshopper. Back in the day when we were hunting beagles, he'd come to the beagle trials with his grandfather Roger. They'd come around, and for some reason they picked on me and my dog. Always wanted a piece of old Walker that I had back there, but I hadn't seen you since those days, I don't think. But
a little bit.
Yeah, but I remember those. We had a lot of fun back then. But hey, tell us a little bit about Flash. How's this dog bred?
He's out of Melvin, and Piper out of Dual Murphy's cross there.
Yeah, so those of you, Melvin, obviously a big name in the coon hunting world, and so is Piper, Dual Murphy's Piper female. We saw her in the Tournament of Champions a couple of years ago and really put on a show that one night. But hey, Storm, you've been hunting this dog not very long, kind of you said since Autumn Oaks maybe, but good score tonight, 500 plus. Tell us about your hunt.
Well, we cut loose. Went about 200, treated a coon. Another fella treated a coon, cut back loose. Went about 500, treated another coon. And I treated him in. He ended up leaving that tree. He ended up like 0.8. Had another coon. Another dog treed. I think we treed 9 total. He treed 4. We had a real good hunt, big terrain. We just treed coon.
Yeah, that is a good hunt, treeing 4 coon out of 9 there. There's some other dogs treeing some coons as well. So what is it that you like about this dog? What's the dog's hunting style?
He just gets through the country, trees raccoons. I mean, he's pretty quick about opening his mouth, and he's just a fast dog. He gets it done quick. That's about it.
Yeah, well, hey, there we go, guys. A 3-year-old out of Indiana, Flash, had a nice score tonight. We'll see him tomorrow night in round number 2.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo, and being coming out of Piper and Melvin, 2 dogs that have won a bunch and can flat tree the coons as well. Spent some time behind Piper and Melvin both, and so pretty excited to see that. So what do you guys see?
Well, get back to Melvin here a little bit. I believe that's one of the, I went on the final cast when he won the truck at Mount Gilead with the Pro Sport registration. And I believe that dog put on as good a performance as any dog could have possibly put on right there in that final cast that night. And so I've always been a Melvin fan. And then what we see here on the scorecard kind of reminds you of Piper when we were.
I was just 100%.
Here's the action. All the action. Steve, go ahead. But
when looking at the scorecard, it brought me back from hunts that we was a part of. We wasn't there, but we watched it unfold. Is when Piper was in the semi-final round of
competing against Zach McBee and
in the heads-up cast.
Yeah.
I mean, probably was not going to win this cast. And there in the last 30, 35, 40 minutes of the hunt, just in Piper style, like she could, treat, I believe it was three or four there just in a very short amount of time. And, you get a cast like this. I mean, they seen 11 coons. They scored on 8, and he ends up treeing 4 of them. looks
It's
like
in
it comes on
it.
us.
It's
there.
in his blood to do what we see here.
Piper, I've seen Piper in northern Indiana up at Doyle's house. Look, when she's tuned in, she can tree them just as fast as anything can tree them. So I agree on that one. We already have another one in, so we need to jump right back out to Alan. Alan, who do you have?
Well, hey, Jamie, I've got another familiar name here, Strict 9. He placed 9th place last year in the World Championship over in Mount Gilead at the finals. Got Tyler Roten out of Virginia on him still. He's handled this dog for most of his life. Dog is registered to Weston Radway and Adam Matson out of Massachusetts. But tell us a little bit how this dog's bred, Tyler.
He's out of Sunday's Best, which is the tank dog of Ashley Guthrie and them had him. Then he's out on the bottom side. He's off of Davis's little lady. I think she's Insane Cane bred.
Yeah, so you've had this dog for several years, and he's a 5-year-old. We've been seeing a lot of the older 4- and 5-year-olds coming through here in the first round. Tell us a little bit about his hunting style.
Blow through yonder. He rolls, moves around good. That's his strong point, and he usually has coons. Moves good. That's what I like about him.
Yeah. Hey, so you won the cast tonight. Tell us a little bit about this. Whether you don't have to go into all the details, but how'd the hunt go tonight?
Come down the last 3 minutes. Black dog treated coon. I'd made a tree right out of the truck that I'd have probably bet my truck on that it had got plussed up. And then 3 minutes left in the hunt. He's sitting through our 1.2. Judge, black dog shuts up. I get the judge over there, and I said, "You got me?" He said, "Got him." And I treat him.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Strict 9. You placed 9th last year. Placed 9th at the Grand American, too. Yeah. Might have should have called him Strict 1.
Yeah, Uno.
Yeah, so, hey, congratulations. You're in for Friday night's round number 2. Congratulations, Tyler. All righty, here you go. Strict 9 is going to be in the round number 2.
All right, well, it sounds like he is used to being here, so I'd say he's another one to watch out for tomorrow night. And what do you see there?
Quite a bit of action on the card. All 4 dogs were trying their best out there. And it came down, I guess they did have a tie score there, and then looks like the tiebreaker would have been strike points. We did have Tony Dominguez in there with the red bone, and he had 4 trees circled out there. And if Tony would see the first one or any one of those others, he'd have been tied right in there with him as well. But yeah, it's kind of an action-packed cast, but a little bit of a low score.
Now, the tree that he was talking about that he would have bet his truck on, did that end up being circled or minus right out of the truck?
Circled.
Circled right out of the truck. Yeah. So just probably.
And that ultimately was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
That circle was a
tiebreaker. So that's a good point to say. Even though to explain what circle points are to our viewers, it was using a tiebreaker, and you think at that point in time that tree might not come into play, but clearly it came into play towards the end. We're not getting a report from the field right now from Alan, and I know Steve, you wanted to come back to your list of the World Hunt Cast. We might have a moment right now, so why don't you revisit that as you said you wanted to?
Well, it was kind of funny because I had marked these. I had marked these on the card before you guys had kind of talked, and the 4 that I had marked would have been Beller's Pac-Man, like we talked earlier, and then I had Tony's Wild Joey, and I just remember 1990 is the year that she won the World Hunt. It was really the first year I really started competing in these hunts, so that's probably what kind of stood out to me. But I remember people kind of talking about her being just a good female, action-packed type of female, and then Northern Buck too. And again, why? Because that year I remember vivid. I mean, just reading about it is when he won the World Hunt. It was held in Boston,
South Boston,
Virginia. And I remember that when they went out to hunt on Friday night's round, I think they only had like 9 or 10 dogs left to go into Saturday because it was tough hunting. And makes you want to think, he was one that could hunt through them conditions. And then I obviously had Main Street John the Baptist, and it was kind of ironic that you said that about Randy, and then you talked about that hunting. Why? Because I always wanted to hunt with Randy, and I always know them guys hunted, that line of English dogs. It was good hounds, and so that's the 4. If for me, no, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of other ones here I'd love to have in a dream cast, but them 4 I didn't get to hunt with. whereas a lot of the other world champs, I was very fortunate over the years that I got to hunt with him at one time or the other.
John, I got the opportunity to hunt with John, and he was very nice. And South Boston is a tough area to hunt. I don't know if either of you have hunted in the South Boston area, but it is a tough area. But we've got a report, guys. We're going out into the field. Alan, who do you have?
Hey, we've got Ohio back on the board here again with a dog named Buckle Up. And honestly, his parents are pretty famous dogs here. A couple of world champions here. World champion owner back here. Pig farmer, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure these days. Scott Angle. Tell us a little bit about this dog. 3-year-old.
Yep, he's a 3-year-old off of Mojo's Electric Rodeo. And his mama is Letting Loose Lila, owned by Gerald Keegan. She was also a UKC world champion.
Yeah, so world champion top and bottom there. So 3-year-old, you've raised him, I guess, and trained him up, right?
I had him since a puppy. I really didn't do all the training. I got to give that credit to Alan Carlson. And Alan kind of started him, and I started him. Alan took him throughout the winter, and then Levi got him about a month ago and kind of been putting the final touches on him.
Well, he's done a fine job. I heard he beat the brakes off of Greg Maynard earlier tonight. Hey, Levi, tell us a little bit about your hunt. 525, a good score tonight.
Yeah, he looked really good. Got struck right out of the truck, moved around good, and treated 3 coons, and did a nice job.
What's his hunting style?
He I would say, man, he could tree just a variety of coons. In the last few nights, we've seen him tree a couple layups, and sometimes he'll a little hotter track, but he moves around good and good about having a coon. So,
yeah. Well, hey, congratulations! Made it through the first round here. We'll see you tomorrow night with the Buckle Up 525 plus tonight. Good score.
All right. Well, congratulations to that duo. They've been here and done it before, and I expect them to be ready for the next night. What do you guys see? And we know it was a good score.
He did beat the brakes off of him. Maynard wasn't in the cast though, but
Maynard would make sure he reminds him of that, right?
No doubt. He had 525, 3 singles, no circle, no minus. Just went out there and done his thing. And Scott's been talking about that dog for a little while now, and he's out of 2 world champions, 2 UKC world champions. The value of that dog right there, if he comes in Saturday night, I mean, this is a bloodline that's tearing the hunts up. We mentioned Fred Berry earlier tonight. That Fred, he's doing his thing, and Rodeo's doing his.
He's got several pups that have gotten through into super stakes.
Yeah.
If I don't believe it's ever been done where a dog out of 2 world champions, sire and dam, that's ever won a world hunt that I'm aware of, especially in the register that we're hunting in the night. Now, I've hunted with both these sire and dam, and looking at this card doesn't shock me a bit. I mean, it doesn't shock me coming off a rodeo. It doesn't shock me coming off a Lila. I got to hunt with her a bunch. Kind of was interesting seeing him on the bench over here. The dog in the face with a little bit pink around the muzzle and stuff like that. Reminds me a lot of Lila. So the dog has a lot of Lila's features as far as looks goes. And, I tell you, I'd say the dog's poised to make a run for sure.
I saw Scott there. I'm surprised him because he won 2 rounds last night with Catman Dude at the Super Stakes. So we won't see him back tomorrow night, but Levi will be just fine without him, I'm sure.
And Dude was being hunted by Alan Carlson, the one that he gave credit. The Pro Slam at Autumn Oaks.
Right.
That Alan did.
And then Scott won 2 rounds with him last night. Super Stakes headed back tomorrow night for the quarterfinals.
Another PR dog too.
Another
PR. He's young. He's young. He's not really. He's 3 years old. So again, I think this is a dog that they just kind of got their hands on finally, and taking him into town.
I kind of laughed.
He's not going to stay PR very long. I
kind of laughed and thought his dog, the dog there, and Nikki's dog, 2 dogs out behind the barn, right? 2 dogs out behind the barn. So
No doubt.
All right, we got another one out in the field. Alan, who do you have?
Well, hey, I've got a 15-year-old Braxton Wills from Oklahoma. He's probably got to be the youngest handler we have here in the World Finals. And this isn't his first rodeo. He was the TOC and and to be on the big stage, but I'll get to you here in just a little bit. I've got Mr. Vic Hurley, Oklahoma. He's the co-owner of Joe here. Tell us a little bit about his breeding, Vic.
He's out of Shack, Backwoods Shack, and out of a Bone Collector female.
Yeah, I think we had another female that come through here a little while ago that's also moving on, that's bred very closely to that.
Right. Fergie, yeah.
Fergie, yeah.
She's from over around West Plains, I think.
Yeah, so how long have you had this dog? 5-year-old now?
I bought him when he was a yearling, long yearling, and we've hunted him, trained on him, yeah.
Yeah,
Been
so.
a nice dog.
Yeah. So, Braxton.
Yes.
First round here. How was your hunt? Tell us about your hunt.
Man, I'll tell you, I struck for 50 right out of the truck, and them other dogs, we all kind of struck a track right out of the truck, about 100 yards, 150, and then the one open spotted dog got treated about 300 yards right-handed and had a cone, and by the time he was plumb out of pocket. He's plumb a mile from there. He hit a road and just got out of Dodge. Then recut that open spotted dog, and he got treed again, had a circle tree, and pulled off his tree and heard mine, and I treed mine in. Shoot, I think he's 1.9, and I was lucky to hear him, blessed to hear him, and got him treated in and got to him and had a cone, and that open spotted dog got treated in again. It came down. If he had a cone, put him at 200 plus, me at 175, and he had it in, and I won 175.
Hey, sometimes you need those breaks, don't you?
Yes, sir. Breaks goes a long ways.
Yeah, hey, you've now 15 years old. You have been on the big stage a bunch of times already. How do you do it, man?
Good Lord upstairs, just blessed.
Do you hunt? How often do you hunt? You hunt how many times a week?
Oh, I try to hunt good week, 5, 6, 7 nights a week.
What does your hunting look like in Oklahoma?
90% of it around where I live, straight up and down hills, and I can drive around Miami and hunt pecan bottoms. I can hunt pretty much anything.
You're driving already?
No, sir, I ain't driving, but whatever hunting buddy I go with that night.
I got you. Hey, what do you like about Joe here?
I like he's a consistent cone treer, just about a dead loner, and natural. That's what I like about him. Natural's what I like, and just consistent. Whatever he's done, he's just about consistent. You can ask of one. Has all the heart in the world.
Yeah. Hey, so you've hunted in a lot of different hunts. The TOC obviously was a big one, and not just that, other registries as well. You hunt in them all. Yeah. Now the World Hunt here. How does it feel different to come to to hunt in a hunt like this as compared to where you qualified him or a local club? What's the difference? How does that feel to you?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I got so many buddies up here. I just feel like I'm at a little local hunt. Just you hunt with them night in and night out. Just feel right at home.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations. You are in round number 2 with Joe here, and we will see you tomorrow night in the handlers meeting.
Alan, I'd love to ask a question. How long have you been hunting, Bryson?
Started when I was about 8 years old, so about 7 years now.
How long have you been hunting in the hunts?
Roughly 5.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, that is pretty awesome. 15 years old right here, Braxton Wills. Yeah, he puts a lot of time in it, I can assure you of that, but a good kid, man, and you got a lot of people rooting for you, I guarantee it. Congratulations, man.
Thanks,
congratulations, Vic.
All right, well, congratulations to that duo, and that would be pretty awesome to see him make a run at this thing and see how well.
Yeah, he only hunts 5 or 6, 7 nights a week. I don't know if
that's enough or not.
Holy cow, 5, 6, 7 nights
a week, maybe 8 if there was an 8th one.
If there was 8 nights, I'm leaving you hunting 8.
And
yeah,
well,
that's awesome.
You know, I see Braxton and owners as Vic there and Braxton, and I'm sure that's enjoyable. We obviously heard from Vic a little bit. I'm sure that's enjoyable for him as well. You know what I mean? To be able to come and you know, I think a true testament to Vic. I mean, on taking someone like that, mentoring him, and give him an opportunity to come hunt on a stage like this. I know for me. I wasn't that young when I started. I didn't start actually competing in the hunts until I was, a little older. But I had a lot of good mentors along the way, and it's really awesome seeing that.
And said he was treated 1.9. My knees hurt even thinking 1.9. I mean,
I think I'd have given up. I would have pulled a Great Maynard and just give up.
See if we could have just drove to him.
Just give up.
That-
They had kind of a slow cast. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, they was walking him at 1.9. That's what they.
Yeah, you.
And I tell you, they went to Shelburne, Indiana, and there's decent hunting
Yeah,
in Shelburne.
good
I
hunting
mean, they
over
can be
there.
spotty, but it's still
Yeah.
good hunting. Yep. So, absolutely.
Well, congratulations to that young man, and I'm sure there's more. That's part of his life too, with him not being able to drive yet. So that's pretty interesting. But we're already getting another report from the field. Let's see who Alan has with him now.
Yeah, I've got another Indiana dog, another 4-year-old right here, Bryce Matthews, Peru, Indiana, here with a dog named Bull. And I know you've hunted this dog before you used to own him, you sent him back. Tell us a little bit about that whole story.
Yeah, so I call him Wheels. That's what I call him. That's his call name. Hunted him for Jeremy Jones for about a year, and I tried to buy this dog and didn't quite have deep enough pockets to buy him. So he got sold to a big name owner. Went down to hunt his last Super Stakes, and he didn't quite hunt the same for them as he did for me. So after his Super Stakes was over, they reached out to me. They knew how much this dog meant to me, and asked me if I'd be interested in buying him. So I finally got him bought in April, and it's been a roller coaster since then. Trying to get him healthy and everything. He's been down all summer with Lyme's disease. I just got him back right before autumn oak, so you wouldn't have known a month ago that he'd be treeing coons because he just wasn't right. But we've got him healthy now, and he's looking good.
Well, hey, things are working out for you right now, that's for sure. So you scored 375 tonight. Hey, first of all, what is he out of?
So he's out of a dog named Hell on Wheels and then Power Pack on bottom. So he's wipeout top and bottom.
There you go. So scored 375 tonight. Tell us a little bit about your hunt.
Yeah, we had a great hunt. Dog took a couple bad breaks right out of the truck, so she was withdrawn about 10 minutes into the hunt. So that took us down to 3 dogs. Wheels was the last dog to get treed, and he went in and had a coon, recut off that, and he had another coon, so that put him at 375. We made another dog made a bad tree, and then the English dog we were with, he made 2 circle trees. Wheels, he got treed again the last 4 minutes of the hunt. Didn't need to tree him in, but he had another coon for insurance. So 375 is where we ended up at.
Hey, a couple of years ago, Bryce, you had a dog in Tennessee, made it all the way to the semifinals there, and man, your thoughts?
My thoughts are I hope you don't have any more cards in your pocket because that was a bad deal for me. But no, it was good. So I'm glad we've got this format here now where it's elimination style. And high score and stuff doesn't matter. So we're going to try and get back there and do it the right way this time, make the Final Four. So I don't want to finish 5th again.
Well, hey, there you go. Bryce Matthews scored 375
Alan, hold on a
tonight
minute.
with Bull.
Alan, can you
All
hear
right, hang
can
on.
you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was more interested in knowing if the honeymoon's still going on or if the honeymoon's over.
The honeymoon is over, but I do got to give a big shout out to my wife. So today is our 3-year anniversary. We met at the World Hunt 3 years ago on this day. So she's coming down tomorrow. She's going to be the backup handler tomorrow, and then she'll be competing in the show Saturday. So it's all good.
And I'm sure the boys are tickled that you've won the first round here.
Yeah, they're pretty pumped. So all the boys and her, they're all coming down tomorrow and be a big old family affair. So hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Well, there you go, guys.
All right. Well, congratulations to those two, and I'm sure they're going to be ready to go into the next round as well. So what do you guys see on the card?
Well, so Bryce got married on.
I don't think that's on the card.
No, that's not on the
Oh,
card.
okay. I was just wondering. I was
Bryce
at
got married
the.
on the Tuesday or Thursday before Autumn Oaks?
I believe it was. I think it was Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I was at the wedding. If y'all want to ask
you-
over here.
did you-
I did. Yeah, you know I do do
Why
those.
don't you say something?
Well, why don't you ask instead of sitting over running your mouth like you know what you're talking about?
Stuff like that we need to know.
Well,
Stuff like that we need to know. And you want to just
it was
cut
on
down?
Tuesday at 7 o'clock. It was hot, and I'm just.
There will be
Let
a
me ask you.
meeting.
Hey, let me ask you this.
All right, ask me.
You did the officiating, didn't you?
I did the wedding. Yes.
That's what I thought.
Is Alan, are you guys still out there, Alan? Can you hear us?
Yeah, they can still. Can you still hear us out there, Alan?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
All right, would y'all- would
What's the story on that? Let's hear about that.
What are we hearing about the wedding in Autumn Oaks?
Yeah, how did you pick Jamie to do the? How did that?
Well, Autumn Oaks is very special to my wife's family. I think her dad owns the unofficial record for most consecutive Autumn Oaks. She's been going every year of her life. She's never missed one. So that was just a very special deal for her, and that's kind of where she decided to get married at. It's nice having a pastor who's also a coon hunter. So we hired old Jamie to come in, hired him with a Mountain Dew and a
I
to-go
was
box
cheap.
of food.
Got
He was
Mountain
the
Dew,
cheapest
baby.
pastor we could find, and it turned out great. So Coon hunting runs in our family, and it was just no better place to have it than where all of our friends would be at anyways. So.
That is awesome. That's an awesome story.
And that was this year, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, that was just this year. So we're like 3 whole weeks into it.
So,
And you're still married.
and so,
Take it away.
Let me ask you this real quick, Alan, before you leave. Has your wife, has she won a world champion show title yet?
She has not won the world show. Her sister and her dad both have, though, I do believe. So she's coming up next.
So
awesome. So this could be a battle this weekend. Who's going to be the first world champion? Maybe that would solidify who's going to be the leader.
My son, he won the Kids World this year, so he told me that I need to win the world this year so I could join the Cool Kids Club. Is word for word what he told me. So he's got one up on me.
That's awesome.
So this is actually they were my second coon hunting wedding. I did one back in October, and I've got Eric Emery booked already for next November. So
You must be cheap.
So I got Mountain Dew, baby. You can't get any cheaper. Hey guys, we got to go to break. We've got a few casts left out. Grab you something to drink and join us as we finish this night up. We're going to get back to seeing who else is coming in to see us. Let's go to break. Thank you. The United Kennel Club's Coonhound World Championship has been brought to you by our performance dog nutrition partner, UKC. Fuel up, train hard, and get after it. And by our GPS collar partner of UKC Dog Truck. Make every dog exceptional.
Check out the United Kennel Club online store for all of our magazine subscriptions and UKC merchandise. Go to shop.ukcdogs.com and you'll find all the best gear to support your UKC lifestyle. Snag a new hat, hoodie, or t-shirt and subscribe to our many publications, including our world-leading coonhound publication, Coonhound Bloodlines. We even have research pedigrees and rule books available to purchase. Why wait? Shop now.
Clayton Stark here, getting ready to take the dogs to the woods tonight using the Dogtra Pathfinder 2 GPS tracking system.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
All right, and welcome back to the 2024 UKC World Coonhound Championship in Marshall, Illinois. We're glad that you're part of the Midnight Mayhem. We have been walking through several of the casts tonight, meeting the hounds and hunters that have advanced, and we're looking forward to meeting more. And we already have one waiting on us. So, Alan, who do you have with you?
Well, hey guys, I've got an English female right here, scored 500. Her name's Riot, and must have had a good hunt tonight. But if you think you're seeing double here, not really. These are twin brothers from Bedford, Indiana, Clayton and Dalton Brown. Congratulations, boys. So, 4-year-old, talking about another 4-year-old. We've had quite a few make it through here. So tell us, how is Riot bred?
She's out of Big River Buster and Coon Valley Skeeter.
And you've had her for most of her life?
Since she was a 2-year-old.
Okay, yeah. So what? Tell us a little bit more about what's her hunting style. Little dog here.
Yeah, she's not very big. She's got a really good nose, hunts good, can run a track, stays treed well.
Yeah. So do you both own this dog? I'm assuming you probably have a couple other dogs. Where's your dog, Clayton?
No luck tonight.
No luck. So you also hunted one.
Yes.
Okay. Which dog were you hunting?
Missy.
Okay. Okay. So don't you wish you were hunting Riot? Or Riot?
Yep.
Yeah. So how does this work? Do you guys compete with each other?
We take turns on handling which dog, you know.
Yeah.
One night he'll take one, the next night I'll take the other.
There you go. So 500 plus points tonight. Tell us a little bit about your hunt.
Well, right out of the gate, started out with second strike, first tree on a coon, and the other dog had a coon as well. And as the night played out, the other dogs took some tree minuses, and Riot here ended up treeing 2 more coons to herself, and it kind of sealed the deal there.
Yeah, so sounds like she looked good.
Good. Yeah. Yep.
Well, there you go. We're going to have Clayton's or Dalton's going to be in round number 2 Friday here with this little English female named Riot.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to those two. And
How old are those guys?
Alan, are you still there? Are you still
here? They told me they're 25, and neither one's married, so they're still. Somebody told me they're looking for girlfriends. Is all I.
Maybe the camera can go back to them and check them out one more time. There they are, guys.
Let me get out of the shot here.
Hey, we got, and like I said, Diet Mountain Dew, baby. I can marry you too. So
right here.
I mean, you know, where do they live at?
Bedford, Indiana.
I like coming
down by IU.
I like coming to Indiana. So Diet Mountain Dew, if you find a woman, we can get it done. So, I'm licensed in Indiana already.
Probably need 2 of them though, just to clarify.
2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. we got to clear things up a little bit. Okay.
Well, are you engaged? Do I need to book anything?
Well, hey, your brother here, he's hiding behind you. There we go. Here's the one that we need to get a little help with. Right.
Congratulations.
All right, boys. Congratulations.
Yeah, guys, congratulations. I'm not sure.
They're having fun.
I'm not so sure they thought they were going
to.
You need to get a drink of that.
Holy cow!
I'm not even gonna do it.
That's gonna make it to Facebook. Pastor Jamie's drinking.
I don't know how you're sitting in that chair. Anyway, yeah, looking at this scorecard.
What's on their card?
Yeah, let's look at the card. 7 coons scored. 7 coons scored. Tough cast.
That's third or fourth cast now with that, up there, yeah.
Lots of action. There's more 125s on this scorecard than probably I've ever seen on a scorecard. But yeah, they come out of there least minus. It looks like they had 25 minus, where the rest of them that were out there treeing coons as well was picking up a few more minus. So that's the telltale right there. You got to hang on to your point.
I just wonder if this is one of the casts that did leave late. Maybe
they did leave late. I know one. Tim Waters is in that cast. They left 9:30, I want to say, or something.
I believe
like that.
so. Yeah.
So it was one of the casts.
Yeah, they left late.
You know what sticks out at me in this cast here? There's 16 first trees on this card.
How many?
16.
Wow.
Now
So
some
they
of them
just-
minus, some of
they
them
did some
minus,
walking,
some
didn't they?
circles, some plus, and so yeah. So there was a lot of calling going on for sure.
Justin Howard, judge and guide.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've already got a report, guys, from Alan saying that he's got another in the field. So, Mr. Allen, who do you have with you?
Hey guys, I've got a Pennsylvania dog here, scored 2 1/4, girly here. This dog is owned by Randy Smith, Rick Strouser, Kyle Preston, and Brendan Loughlin. I think those are some names we've been hearing quite a bit here in the last good while, actually, especially in the World Championships. Kyle Preston here handled girly 225. Tell us a little bit about this dog. How's the dog bred?
She's out of Randy's $1 Million Baby female, and then Frank Gettings' Max's Rock River Stylish Sun dog. The cross worked really well. Just her and all her litter mates are all exceptionally good.
Yeah, so the dog, here's another 4-year-old. We've talked a lot about these 4-year-olds that are kind of coming through tonight. And you've had her since she was about 3, basically, you said, right?
I've had her since she was about 1.5 years.
Or 1.5 years, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell us about your hunt tonight.
Started off with a first and a first. A couple of the other dogs got coon treed, and then right at the end of the hunt, they all started taking minus points, and she stayed out of trouble. So it just caught the right breaks, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. So what do you think are your chances here moving forward? You liking them?
I like them. If she operates the way she should, we have a very good shot at it, I think.
Yeah, well, hey, there you go. Kyle Preston. He's got a line of dogs bred. We've seen him in the winner's circle up here in the World Championship before, so maybe it'll be Kyle and Gurley. So we'll see. Tomorrow night, round number 2. We'll see you there.
Hopefully.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations to Kyle. He came out of the zone that I worked last weekend, and he and they're no strangers to winning as they've done their share. And the cast that Kyle was on was kind of a unique cast. If you look at the card, the first 3 dogs on that card are all within a very close range. All 3 of those dogs could have hunted at a local hunt together. And the first dog on that cast is a young man, probably the youngest competitor here, I would say. He's probably.
They're all from the same area?
They're all from the same area, yes. They all could have hunted together at any night during the week, and so they drive all the way to Illinois and
that's
draw
something,
each other.
27 casts, and it happens. I mean, we've seen it happen where you partner up with someone to drive a long distance to a hunt, and you get there, and the last thing you want to do is draw your buddy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just happens.
Yeah. And I think the cast sounds pretty simple. He treed the one coon, stayed clean. That's another.
Had a circle tree, and stayed clean throughout the night there. Kudos out to Randy Smith and his team. Randy's trying hard to improve the Walker breed.
Done a phenomenal job with it.
He's done and doing a great job of it. He's got some fantastic females, and he's making some fantastic crosses, and it's showing up here. I don't know. Randy had maybe 3 in the event.
He had 3 here. Yep.
And just got this one here through. But kudos out to that team right there. They're doing everything the right way, it seems like.
That's real exciting for Kyle to. Yeah. We actually have an update. We're going to be joined by Alan, and I think Alan has a special guest with us now. So let's go to Alan and see who he has.
Yeah, hey guys, we talk about there's always a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot for big events. And Trevor Wade here is certainly one of those with United Kennel Club. He's been running around out and working with the reps and as the cast comes in. So right now we're still waiting on one cast to come back in, and while we do that, I thought I'd pull Trevor in here and get your thoughts here on the hunt. I know it's been a lot of work, and this first night at the World Championship is always the biggest one, and just get your thoughts here.
Yeah, well, hey, Thursday night at the World Championship, one of my funnest nights of the year. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot going on. It's kind of a stressful week. We just had the zones last Friday and Saturday night. It's a short turnaround, see who gets in, who doesn't get in, try to get the best judges we can get, try to get the best guides we can get. The host club here in Marshall did an awesome job helping us out, fill those spots. And, man, we've had a great hunt tonight. The reps over there have done great. They've been a little bored, to be honest with you. They've only had one question that didn't cause any issues the whole night. We've scored a lot more coons than I thought we would when it was 95 degrees today in the middle of the day, and everything's been smooth sailing over there on that end, and I've just been enjoying the night and talking to everybody.
Yeah, you're right. And we've seen some very decent scores coming in, and I think a lot of them kind of came down to the end. There's a few that were under full elimination rules where they where the cast ended in less than 2 hours, but most of them hunted all the way, hunted the full 2 hours. But yeah, we've had a lot of happy winners coming through here, here's for sure.
Yeah, that's probably why Thursday night's one of the favorites, because you just talk to the happy people because they're the ones that come back to get their pictures taken. But hey, it's a fun night, man. And I just one of the people here is an owner for one of the dogs on the final cast, and they're hunting about 45 minutes away, and they should just be about done now. So it's going to be pretty close, cutting it pretty close. So they're on their way, though, is what I hear. So.
Yeah, well, hey, I have done this quite a few times, and I know Thursday night is always the big night, and you just want things to go smooth, and when they do, man, you're always so tickled that they do, and certainly kudos to all the judges. I want to thank all the guides and everybody involved in our hunt tonight, so thank you all. So any final thoughts here before we, while we're waiting on the final cast here, or the last cast?
No, I just appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate the guides, the judges, the host clubs, everybody qualifying their dog, making plans for a great World Championship next year. But first, I guess we'll sleep a little bit and do it all over again tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, hey, here's our Trevor Wade, and I'm always proud of all the work that he does, and we're lucky to have him. And here at the World Championship again, he's making his mark and putting in a lot of efforts. So there you go, guys.
All right, guys. Well, truly, Trevor is the backbone, if we were to say, of the Coonhound Operations Program with UKC. But a hunt of this magnitude, I was listening as Alan was thanking Trevor, there are so many people here that's part of the UKC team that, from what we're a part of here with the media to the whole team in itself.
So many pieces.
So
of
many
puzzle.
people of puzzles that.
It seems like to me that Trevor puts the puzzle together.
Yeah.
I mean, he does so much, and a lot of people maybe don't know how much he really does. But everything we're looking at right here, everything that we've got right here, Trevor comes up with that, and he comes up with it just like that. If we ask for something that we want for the broadcast, he'll have it in just a few minutes for us, and he's the same way with everybody. They really hit a gold mine when they got Trevor to come to work for them.
And so really just a good job to Trevor and that whole team of parts of UKC to make this possible. I mean, down to the dinner, down to the desire to see this, to be able to brought to you live wherever you may be. It's just a great asset, and it's a great effort.
I can tell you from over the years of helping organize some big events and stuff, one of the things that you hope that it can go off without a hitch. I mean, that's just it's everyone's desire that you don't have a whole lot of problems and stuff. And I can guarantee you, probably one of Trevor's biggest stresses that a lot of people may not see is that to going into Thursday night especially, it's the toughest night to put on for the finals, because we do have 27 casts going out. And you heard what he said. I think they may have had one question that wasn't really amounted to a whole lot. And I can tell you, with just one cast left out, and it sounds to us like they're on their way back now, I guarantee it's a big sigh of relief, because that's always what you desire, and that's a lot of work to put that together, just like Rick said. So to get through to that part is pretty outstanding.
Well, our clubs have put on world hunts.
100%.
And there's so many moving parts with that thing.
And the other thing is too, the dogs that we hunt today, they hunt big. They're big hunting dogs. They can get out of pocket. Sometimes maybe get where you really don't want them to. Never was intended that way. And to the host club for that's 27 guides on a Thursday night. That's not an easy undertaking too. So a huge shout out from what we understand up to this point. Really no issues tonight. So huge shout out to the guys guiding and stepping up. And I guarantee you, most of these guys that did that tonight, they got to be to work in the morning.
They got to get up and go to work in the morning.
They got to get up to go to work in the morning. Yep. So absolutely. And honestly, that's what makes these hunts what they are today. Yep. The sacrifice that people do, for sure.
Now, just to bring our viewers up to date, the ones that have stayed with us, we're waiting on one cast.
Yeah. What cast is that, Steve?
It is actually cast. It is cast 15. It's cast 15. It has the 4 dogs that are left out is a dog called All Out of Cash, Whacked Out Doc, No Name Ep, and Blue's Amazing Grace. Yeah. So them are the 4 that are left out. And
so what my thought was, we know we have 26 advancing. We know that. We know who they are. We've met them. We've heard their story. I'm going to kind of circle back. I promised I would give you your moment of fame right here.
Sure waited long enough. I can tell
well, we've been busy. We've been busy. Okay. What are these guys, the 26, that, I was sit here, I think about Kevin, thanking everybody, getting emotional. You could tell what it meant to him. We heard another guy say that, no, I'm not nervous. I feel like it's just another hunt. Everybody's probably on a different range of emotion. The night that you were in their shoes in 2012. Am I right?
Yeah.
If that is 2012.
She didn't make your list of wanting to.
I just knew. I heard so much about her. I felt like,
No disrespect.
No disrespect. I just heard so much about her. What do you think they're feeling right now? What is the range, the highs, the lows? Where do you think they're at right now as a handler? Relief?
Relief. The pressure's off for today. And most of them have got a small posse around them, 2 or 3 friends, maybe family members, whatever else, and they're enjoying this moment right now. And it's a big accomplishment. Everybody that competition hunts wants to win the world hunt. I think I said it in past broadcasts that we've done. You want to make the cover of the magazine. Well, not so much anymore because of the internet. The internet hits out quicker, but everybody that competes wants to win a world hunt. And there's 26, probably going to be 27, go back out there tomorrow night that have a real shot at this. And but for this night right here, those winners are relieved that they won. They're not quite thinking, or I wasn't quite thinking about the next round or any of that. I was just enjoying this round.
Yeah.
And breathing a sigh of relief that, hey, we get to play another day.
Yeah. And tomorrow is a day at the World Hunt where they can actually rest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a real pushed,
Yeah.
heavy day. It's
Yeah.
a day that they can rest. The dog can actually rest, because some of these dogs have traveled. If you've traveled with dogs any amount at all, actually the day that you came down to the West Virginia State Youth Hunt for me, you did a really good job. Man, I hate to compliment you there, but you did a really good job of showing how that you took care of Frisky, how you made her as close to being at home as you could. And I think that's important going into tomorrow, of certain dogs not eating well, certain dogs not traveling well.
Yeah.
The dogs can actually rest tomorrow as well.
These guys that get to this level, that win with the dogs, I can see them as Alan was talking to them. You can look at those guys, and Steve knows this full well. He's won as much as any of them, and when they left here, they were taking care of their dog first, and they were making sure that their dog was going to be as well prepared for tomorrow night as it was tonight.
Yeah.
So important.
Well, and I think too, looking at the guys that are, looking at the guys that have made it through this top 26, just kind of looking at, through some of the names and stuff. There's a lot of guys that are in this top 26, and I'm sure we'll cover more of it on Saturday. There's a lot of guys here that they're not a stranger to this.
They've been here before.
They've been here before,
Yeah.
and if some of them stay away from each other, I can tell you. I mean, if you I didn't participate in the pick'ems in this round here because I felt like it was time for me to step aside and let somebody else wear the crown.
It's always been pretty close, since we've started the pick'em.
Yeah.
I would
It's
like to
always
know.
been pretty close.
I would like to know how we're doing.
Comes down to the wire on Saturday night every time. I mean, all three of us have been pretty close.
I'm glad.
Steve, you've lucked out and won a time or two, but Thursday night is always, we're always nip and tuck on Thursday night.
I decided this year on Thursday night, I was going to step aside and let you guys have your.
And then we misplaced the paperwork.
Yeah,
that's the.
Oh, we misplaced it.
We misplaced the paperwork.
One thing I was going to say, I don't, Rick or Jamie, I don't recall a year that, from what I can remember, and maybe I just missed it or whatever, but I just did a rough count here. We have 6 PR dogs in the top 26. I don't remember a year of that. I mean, maybe it has happened.
I think somebody's actually found the barn where they're getting these dogs out from behind the barn.
That's pretty impressive, really. It's pretty impressive to have that many, and it wouldn't shock me if one of them go on and win the World Hunt.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely. So it was that was just kind of something that stood out. I had noticed that we had several come in and just went back and kind of flipped through it. But man, there's several people that have won some big hunts and
let me
world
jump in
titles.
here and make some mention of something that you had said that we will talk more about on Saturday night. Just to kind of let our viewers know what will happen, tomorrow night, we will not be live tomorrow night. There will actually be 2 rounds tomorrow night that the hunters will be hunting through. And then we will come back live and be with you on Saturday night at 8:30 is when we go live. And we hope that you make plans of that. Go to UKC Coonhounds. I'm sure that it's going to be there for you to be able to share and invite people to join us. At 8:30 on Saturday night, that's Central Time, we will be watching, being a part of. We're being told that where the final cast is going, that they're going to have great service, and that's going to be exciting to be able to actually see footage, and hopefully that it's not going to be broken up or anything. And so make plans to be with us Saturday night at 8:30. This is something that UKC does to bring this to you at home, and we hope that you'll come and be a part of that. I want you to think about that, guys, for just a moment. Look at this production that we're setting around. Think about, I was in a podcast a couple months ago with Trevor, and Trevor asked me, I don't ever remember life without a dog. I grew up coon hunting. I grew up, my granddad coon hunting, my dad, and I don't ever remember life without a dog. And he asked me, the question was, how's coon hunting changed or stayed the same? And I said, well, the only thing, in my opinion, that has stayed the same in coon hunting is the coon. Everything else has changed. Dogs, equipment, I mean, it's just everything else has changed. And so look around us today and what we see, and I'll ask you guys the same question. Has anything stayed the same in the sport? What has changed the most? And just a very quick answer, what would be your guys' thoughts?
I said before, it's the equipment we use has changed tremendously.
Yeah.
And probably, I was going to say style of dog, because our hunt time is shortened, and we're seeing a lot of action in these scorecards tonight. And hey, all 3 of us sitting here, we may or may not have talked about it, I don't remember, but none of us thought today, really, that as dry as it is, as hot as it is, that we would see this kind of scores come in consistently over and over and over. We've had a handful of casts with 1 coon. We had probably at the low score right now tonight is 50 plus, I think, Steve, on 1. I really thought we would see a lot of 1 coon cast tonight.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, for me, on the change or whatever is being fortunate to do what we're doing here, bring live footage, and not just in the hunt portion, but also in UKC has their World Coonhound Finals bench show on Saturday, and I believe they're going to do some live coverage on that, possibly around 4:30. I think they're going to go live and have that up. So or 12, it's 12:30. Okay, 12:30 on Saturday that they're going to go live for the bench show, and then obviously for the hunt portion of it. And that's one of the big things that's changed is bringing the before we would have to wait. You'd have to wait until the next day. That's you'd have to wait until the magazine come out for a lot of us to figure out who did good at the World, who did good at the bench show. And then it got to where the internet, you could go and tune in there or whatever. And now a lot of this is live footage. So, you take Saturday, for instance, we're going to have live footage right while the bench show is being happening live. And who would have thought, 5 years ago, I mean, we talked about it, but you would have never thought you could just sit there and tune in and watch both of them events live.
Yeah. And somebody at the end of this weekend is going to be taking home a substantial amount of money, $10,000 for first place.
The total purse is 50.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it all breaks down.
Yeah, 10,000 for first. But, and there's big, as far as purses goes, there's bigger hunts and things like that out there. But prestige-wise, this is where it's at.
I'll probably take the words of Randy Leonard.
I'm telling you, it's where it's at.
I tell you, to your point, we was actually talking about it before we come on here today, is I remember when I was in the Final Four in 2000, And Bobby Allen was he was older then, probably, I'm going to say in his 60s. And, you know, it was his first Final Four. And of course I was a little disappointed because we didn't win. And I'll never forget what he told me. And he said, you know, he goes, I've hunted all my life. He goes, and I'm an older gentleman. I've hunted all my life to get here. He said, count your blessings as young as you are. You know, wow. and you know, it put things in perspective for me that night. And I'm gonna say Bobby was in his 60s that night. You know, and you know, to think about that, and everybody knows he hunted good dogs for a lot of years. And you know, that's just one of them things where you can hunt really good dogs. And you know, what makes the UK, you know, United Kennel Club World title so special. And because first and foremost, I would say the first thing that would put that all in perspective is to date no dog has ever won it twice.
That is crazy.
And if you think,
you would think it would happen eventually.
And
maybe this weekend.
And here's what I'm going to tell you: in a lot of the other registries, there's been dogs that have won that particular world hunt, not taking anything away from it, but they've won it more than once. You know, the same dog. And so, but that just tells you why this title is so prestigious, because it's so hard.
It's hard to win.
It is hard to win it. And how do I know? Because I've said it before, probably on set. I mean, as a young man, I got in the Final Four in 2000, and I just knew I'd be back, and I was going to win this thing. And that's 20 years ago, and I've not been back to the Final Four since. And it's not that I didn't bring good enough dogs to win it. It's just you realize that it's such a fine margin of doing good at this hunt.
You know, one thing that I think that contributes to the fact that we haven't had a dual winner is the fact that this hunt gets moved around.
Yeah.
You take a
That's a really good point.
You take a hunt that stays in the same place. And, you know, we're free to talk about anything and everything pretty much. But the PKC World Hunt stayed right there at the tennis center there in that land between the lakes, year after year after year. After a while, you start figuring out, what does it take?
What style of dog does it take? What style of dog
is
is it going to take? Yeah. You know, it's in Salem now for years, and you know that's a really good point.
The ACHA World Hunt back in the days, you look back historically, way back, and you see where those dogs could win 2-3 times the World Hunt. You know, but UKC moves this thing around so much, and I think that has a contributing factor to it. Everybody gets a chance at some point. At some point, this hunt is going to be close enough to you, your zone's going to be close enough to you that you'll get to participate in it.
Well, and to your point, Rick, you know, to kind of break that down even another layer, people may ask why, you know, if you're moving it around, you know, dog's a dog. Well, everybody knows some dogs, every dog has a sweet spot. Every dog has in certain kind of conditions where they're just apt to shine more, you know. Maybe it's a dog that, you know, can play a little bit more offense. And what I mean by that, looks a little bit better when you're scoring on multiple coons. You have other dogs that where they shine is maybe scoring on 1, possibly 2, and keeping their nose clean, just simply staying out of trouble. And so when you're repeatedly going back to a same spot, that territory kind of caters to that dog's obviously going to have a lot more. Now, don't get me wrong, they still got to go out and compete and finish it, but when they're hunting in their elements, as Pert is saying, and their strong points, it's more apt for that dog to be able to make a run.
Let me jump in here on something that you said just a moment to kind of take us in a direction, and you said about moving it around. You know, it goes to different locations throughout the country. I pulled some notes here very quick, and Rick could be able to talk to this. What club did you come out of in Northern Indiana when you talk about your home club?
The DeKalb County Coonhunters Association.
County. Was what city or town?
We would have been in Hamilton, but we held a lot of our hunts out of LaGrange.
LaGrange, okay.
Yeah.
So you might be able to speak to that too just in a moment. Looking here in locations where the World Hunt has been. So to be able to move it, you got to be able to go to clubs that can host it. I mean,
sure.
You can't just go go anywhere. So I look here, and of course you can speak 4 times to Mount Gilead, Ohio, to the
Yeah,
Morrow County Coon Hunters.
Over a period of, when was the first?
1988 was the first one, 99 was the second one, 2018, and then 2023. And I can speak to the success of that club by just working the zones, and for the TOC, the largest zones, and seeing the number of hunters that they can put in the woods. And then you see Columbia City, Indiana, which I know that's a northern Indiana club as well. Yep. They've held it in 85, 2000, and 2010. And then 2 times, there's several clubs that have been twice, as Flora, Greencastle, LaGrange has been twice, and Peru is twice. So Peru, another northern Indiana club, LaGrange, and then that's what we see there. So I'm going to ask both of y'all this question.
So you touched on about 10 out of this since 78?
Yeah.
And then Montpelier would be in, that day was held at once, but our club hosted it. We had to go to the Montpelier Fairgrounds because LaGrange wasn't open that weekend, and I think that was
so they
96.
Could have been 3 times. Then
Three times. We held it 3 times when I was in.
So you were involved with the club.
Yeah,
those 3 times.
Yes.
Were you involved with Mount Gilead at least two times?
Yeah, the last 2 times.
To do a hunt of this size, number one, guides and judges are obvious, but you have kitchen staff. You have people that go around and book facilities and put things together. Let the viewers know that just what takes place at Mount Gilead to prepare for the World Hunt, to prepare for TOC. I know you're very influential in getting the guides at the TOC, and then Steve, the same question to you. If you remember back at LaGrange, what did you guys do to get ready for that? And so to be able to move, you got to have people to be able to move too.
It's not a hunt. The best way I can explain it, it's not a hunt that you just wake up about 2 weeks before and it just falls into place. It's really a whole year of planning. A whole year of planning on, and not that we held a lot of big breed hunts, a lot of years and stuff like that. But with the World Hunt, it's a world title, and so it held a little bit more special meaning. And we always tried to prepare good, but the World Hunt we tried to prepare extra special because knowing that you're going to have, when you're putting on a breed hunt, you're not as apt to have as many vehicles out there, as many people spectating kind of thing. And with the World, you got, it's just a different dynamic because you get into, Thursday night, for every cast there seems to be an extra truck or 2. You get into Thursday or Friday night round, it certainly does because you got your field reps that are going along, a lot of people sitting at the road or whatever. So it was weeks and months and a year of planning on, getting with our guides and making sure they was getting with landowners and letting them know what was going on and just kind of educating people that, in preparing for your final cast, where you're going to go, and if this scenario happens, we're going to use this scenario. And I can tell you for me, when we did it, the 3 years that we did it, we had an incredible staff. I mean, that doesn't, we was just very fortunate. We had a very strong club. And in our area, we was very blessed, even to this day, and Rick can attest to this, Reading Coon Hunters Club, which is, so we live, Indiana, our club was at the very northeast tip. So you could literally 10 minutes be in Ohio, 15 minutes be in Michigan. And we had 9 clubs within probably an hour and 10 minutes from our club. And anytime that we hold a big hunt, even today, I mean, we was up there and worked the zones at Reading, Michigan. And both nights we had to pull guides. Now this is at a zone level to be able to come here. We had to pull guides out because we had too many guides on 90 dogs. Yeah. And
that's a good and bad
it is. And but you know what? I again, a lot of our mentors and I was a part of this group for a long time and stuff like that. To what we're talking about, taking time out and pulling a guide off to the side and explaining to them, and because you don't want to lose that guy, because at some point, and we're very blessed.
And these are all hunting guides.
All hunting guides, yeah. That's what, yeah, all hunting guides.
Which is even worse.
Yeah, and so sharing with these guys and stuff, and the education that took place for that. So when we got ready to put on a world hunt, that you could take and so what we did is we took our guide pool and we figured out a couple guides that guided close to the same area. And instead of just utilizing one guide, we had 2 guides go out, you know what I mean? And it left them be a part of the hunt. And because, you know, for a lot of these guys, this may be their only, you know, chance or two for them to participate in it. And we tried to make it fun. We tried to make them to be a part of something special because it was special. And so that's kind of how we approached it. And even with all that being said, did the hunt go off a hitch? There's always hitches. If there's not a problem, there's a problem coming. It's just the nature of what you deal with, and then dealing with it in the right way.
Now, Rick, with you said you've been a part of the last 2 there. I know you've been very much a part of the TOC and the zones of the TOC and stuff. What do we see, or what do you guys see from the back end of Mount Gilead, Morrow County Coon Hunters? You don't have to mention the butterscotch donuts or anything like that, but I mean, what do you guys see, the effort that's put in there? What do you guys do?
Probably the hardest effort that we have as far as the guys goes, as far as the hunters and things like that, we find out about it, you know, and that we're going to get to host. And we start probably, it is a year-long process, but probably in April we really get to the grindstone. That's when my letters went out to the ODNR and asking permission to hunt over there at Kilgore Plains. Do we have a little better hunting in some areas than Kilgore Plains? Sure we do. But do we have any safer? No, we don't. And our club kind of decided to focus on, hey, let's have a safe final. Let's let them take as many people as they want to take. And it's always a prestigious deal to get to guide that late round or the final round. And we get that. That's pretty well taken care of by mid-May. Somewhere in there, we get the permission from the ODNR, and we've asked twice and got it twice for the World Hunt. I've asked a couple other times, and we didn't get it for other events. But that right there, that's a big part of it. And then your guide list, and then about 3 months out from the World Hunt, we start thinking about the food and who's going to be taking care of that. And here lately, we've been farming the food out. We just realized that, hey, our whole group gets worked enough to where we don't need to be involved in the food. And the first year, the year Willie won, we did feed everybody on Thursday night, just like they're doing here. I want to think that we were the first club that ever did that. And we had a big hog roast that weekend and fed everybody on Thursday night. And our donation bucket exceeded way more than what we thought we would raise. We didn't charge them anything. You could have eaten for free, but we were pretty proud of that. It went off fine, but so many people, you can't, if you sat down and wrote their names out, you would leave 20% of them out of the first list.
I'm kind of upset. Why haven't you cooked a hog when I've been up there working at TOC?
You've been at the wrong event.
Wrong event.
Yeah, we don't.
I've had to bring you donuts.
Yeah. Well, it's April. We're just coming off our winter feed. We probably don't need too much.
You don't need too much. Yeah. Let's try it next year and see if you can find one. Scott's a hog farmer, ain't he?
Scott's a hog. Well, I don't know. Good Lord, I don't know how much he knows about that. His daughter knows everything about the pigs. I don't know if he knows much about it himself or not. It starts a long ways out, and when Sunday morning rolls around and you're pushing a broom and you're picking up trash, and somebody says, let's wait and do it tomorrow evening. No, let's wait and do it now. Let's be done with this thing now.
Oh, I tell you, you're 100% right on that.
When you get done, when you lock that fairgrounds up and says, we've done it again, water relief, and you go home and sleep for 2 days.
Yeah, that's
you go
the
home
truth.
and sleep for 2 days.
That's true. And I have to say, like the club that I just did the zones at in Ashtabula, I know they had worked hard they had requested a hunt, and they had worked hard to get their numbers to where they needed to be to actually be chosen. to do an event, and a lot of those clubs came together and did a great job up there. So if you're a club that is interested in hosting, it doesn't just start by being a phone call from Alan or Trevor. It starts by doing your work on the front end, getting your numbers up, doing the right things, doing club meetings, being a strong club, and all of those things are very, very important. And I want to give a shout out to these clubs, and you guys have this information as well. Steve just mentioned Zone 1, Quincy, Michigan. Great club up there. I guess you kind of explained where it was.
That would have been, that would have been the Reading, Michigan Coonhunters Club, one of the oldest clubs in Michigan. They host a bunch of big events.
I was going to say they've hosted several. Then Zone 2 was Jefferson, Ohio, which where I was at. That's Ashtabula, right on the. Steve said they were right on the Indiana, Michigan, Ohio line. Right. I was right on the Ohio, Pennsylvania line, and I had people go into Pennsylvania. Zone 3, just down the road here, Flora, Illinois. If you've ever been a part of coon hunting, you've heard of Flora, or maybe been to Charlie Brown Park.
Charlie Brown
Many
Park.
times.
And so, very strong club there. Zone 4, Sedalia, Missouri. I know they are no stranger to hosting events as well there. Zone 5, here's one that I'm very familiar with. Grew up hunting there, Rogersville, Tennessee. Little hilly, little mountain there.
Oh my!
Held a world finals.
They had a world final. One of the best. You talk about kitchens in a club. They have a buffet kitchen there that they do, and great job there in Rogersville. Coffeyville, Mississippi, Zone 6. All I know there is very close to where the Winter Classic is held, and I think this is the Mississippi State Coon Hunters that signed on to host this one. So I'm not so sure it was a local club. I think it was more of the State Coon Hunters, and they did a great job down there. Zone 7, almost same sentence as Flora, Illinois, Orangeburg, South Carolina, Grand American, and then Zone 8, Paris, Texas. I know one of the field reps that's here tonight, Mark Vest, worked that one. I think it's very close to his house as well. So looking down through this list, since we're on this segment of talking about clubs, we see that a lot of these clubs have been strong for years, and it looks as if they're continuing to be strong. And I know this year, just speaking to the Flora Club, I mean, came out of, they did black and tan days, and then just a little break and did English days.
Yeah, about a month break probably.
Yeah, and then turned around the next week after English days and did plot days. And I was there working plot days, and I mean, that club had to be wore out. I mean,
I can tell you all, I've had experience with what you're talking about, because we built our new club. DeKalb built a new club, and Rick probably recalls this. There for probably 4 or 5 years, we would host 2 or 3 breed hunts during the time we was hosting the finals of the World Hunt and stuff like that, because it was a great way to raise money. We wanted to try to get that property taken care of, and so we hosted. I believe one year it was Walker Days, Blue Tick Days, and English Days, and then host the World Finals that fall. So it is a lot of work, and you are wore out.
Did you host English Days at Hillsdale? Was you a part of that?
Yes. Yeah, we was a part of hosting English Days at Hillsdale, and then also at was it at Steuben County? 1 year, I believe.
I told some folks today about that.
Auburn, I know we went 1 year.
In Hillsdale, my dad and I went up, and I was just married, hadn't been married very long. And coming from West Virginia, I had never experienced coon hunting like I did in Michigan that weekend. I'd been hunted over on Elkhart, Indiana at that point in time. And Friday night, I scored 1,050. And man, I turned that card in and I went to bed and I knew that I knew I'd won. I just knew I'd won first place
I'm
registered.
thinking third, fourth,
Yeah,
fifth
listen,
right now.
listen, I knew I'd won first place registered and high score in English. Man, I was so excited. And I got up the next morning, and they still had those posters.
Oh, yeah,
where they
the
wrote all
whiteboard,
the big white posters.
sheet.
Oh my goodness, that brings back awesome memories.
I couldn't wait to get over there that next morning and see that. And I got third place registered. I was ticked. I was mad. I had never scored. And so, guys, we got to take one more break to honor our sponsors and to all that make this possible. We still have one cast out. We're waiting, and they are pushing the deadline. And so we're hoping that they make it. We hope that you stay with us. So buckle down, stay with us just a little bit longer, and we'll see you just in a few. The United Kennel Club World Coonhound Championship would like to thank its prize sponsors: Bright Eyes, Easy Loader, Dan's Hunting Gear, Dogs Are Treed, Mule and Okie, Razor Vest, Owens, and Tier 1 Custom Call.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
Do you love dog shows but dread the paperwork? Introducing UKC's online event entry service. Offer your exhibitors the ease of entering your club events right from the UKC event calendar, making entering your show and paying by card a breeze. Gone are the days of managing bookkeeping for each pre-entry transaction. With the UKC online event entry service, UKC will handle the pre-entries and send your club the collected entry fees and list of entered dogs 15 days before your event, allowing you the time to focus on other event details. Free for clubs, easy for exhibitors. Head to the UKC news section of ukcdogs.com to learn more and streamline your next event. UKC Online Event Entry Service, for dogs that do more.
Clayton Stark here, getting ready to take the dogs to the woods tonight using the Dogtra Pathfinder 2 GPS tracking system.
It's been an absolute unbelievable journey at what we do from a small little company to a multi-million-dollar corporation. It's pretty cool. We enjoy what we do. We service our customers very well. We come and sit here and repair product for people on the spot where they don't have to mail it and wait to get it back. We just take pride in doing every aspect of the business, not just selling the lights, but taking care of the customer as well. The United Kennel Club, when I was growing up in my teens, I started hunting in some of their competition hunts. Mainly me and my dad. We'd just go and enjoy ourselves and do that. And I got a little bit older and ended up becoming a master of hounds, bench show judge for them, and I've just been involved with them. I've known for years most all the guys that have come through and been in the hunting ops portion of it, and always had a close relationship with most of them. I mean, business is business, and I understand you got to do business, but there's nothing wrong with being friends while you're doing business if you can. Like being a master of hounds. I've worked a lot of hunts for a lot of people. I've worked a lot of major events, black and tan days, different things. I've judged down here at the Winter Classic. If they need help, I'll go there and do it if I can, if there's any way I can, and never charge a dime. And then giving back to the hunters, you know, the hunters have kept me up for the last 25 years. And I would be absolutely crazy not to give back to the hunters. You don't, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, you try to take care of it. You take care of your business that way, and the customers will take care of you if you take care of them.
And welcome back. We are still here. We're in Marshall, Illinois at the 2024 UKC World Coonhound Championship. I'm your host tonight, Jamie Estep, and continue to be joined tonight by Rick Stretch and Steve Burkholder. Guys, as always, it's been awesome to have you guys with us here tonight. We're still waiting on that one cast. And so before that cast, they're pushing the deadline, but before we can jump in and interview them, and hopefully they'll be coming in soon, we want to make mention, we want to remind our viewers, Saturday, we will be going back live on Saturday for the finals of the 2024 UKC World Coonhound Championship. The live show will be at 8:30 Saturday night. I will be your host again. Be joined by our two coonhound extraordinaires, Rick Stretch and
so
Steve
you're coming
Burkholder.
back on Saturday night?
I'm just coming back. I'm not an extraordinaire. I'm just coming back.
Time.
Unless I'm starting to book weddings, maybe I'll be doing that. But I plan to be back. And also on Saturday at 12:30, for all of us that enjoy bench shows, folks can watch the final round with live coverage as well on Saturday for the bench show. And as you guys know, that gets pretty special and pretty big as well. And so pretty excited about that. I think we're getting a report from the field right now. Maybe our final cast is in. So let's go to Alan and see what report he has for us. Alan?
Yeah, guys, we've got the last cast finally in here. Trevor Hack from, what is it, Northeast Ohio? Yep. Up there in Northeast Ohio with his dog, English female named Grace. Co-owned this dog with Thomas Miller. 500 plus. You must have had a pretty good hunt tonight.
We did, yes, sir. Yeah, we had a really good guide, good cast. Went really smooth. We looked at a lot of coon tonight. So
yeah, so you went over towards Robinson, but before we get into a little more detail, tell us a little bit how your dog's bred here. 3-year-old.
Yep, she's out of my Main Street Blue Dog. That's what she's out of, and a female named Skeeter that my partner on my Kraken dog, Grant Whitmer, owns. So I got Grace when she was about 15 months old, and I've had her ever since.
Yeah, she's kind of a little bit, she's kind of a little leggy, I guess, here, but what's her hunting style, Trevor?
She likes to trail them up around you. She doesn't go too deep usually unless she has to, but she operated real good. We got in a creek ditch tonight, and she was able to treat 2 really quick at the end, right there within 100, 150 yards on the creek that we were at. So,
yeah, so 500 plus. We've had some scores that's very consistent with those kind of scores tonight. Tell us about your hunt otherwise tonight.
Well, it started out, we cut the 4 dogs loose, and 2 of them went in and did a good job on a coon right off the bat. And when they pulled off, they had a coon. She was split treed about 400 yards to our left. We went to her, and she had a coon. And then I recut her. She didn't go like 30, 40 yards, treat again in about a minute. And I waited on them guys for a long time. Well, dogs ended up getting scattered all over the whole block. So I guess, I was there with the backup handler at my tree waiting on the other guys for a long time. And they ended up calling timeout because some dog was in somebody's backyard. So they called time and finally got back to me, and it took forever, about an hour, honestly. And she was circled on that tree, and then we loaded them up, went to another spot about 10 minutes from where we were hunting at. And she actually treed with another dog on a coon. We recut, and she didn't go about 40 yards, treed again. Had a coon in a den on that one, but it was circled. I couldn't get it to look out the hole. And recut her again, and she went about 30 yards and treed again and had that last coon for 500.
Well, there you go. Sounds like quite the hunt there for you, Trevor, tonight. But, hey, congratulations. You're in round number 2 for Friday's round number 2. So there you go. So that does wrap up. This is the final to the last cast to come in here. So again, I just want to congratulate all of the cast winners tonight. And we've had a good look at all of their dogs. So that was kind of cool to see here. So that's going to be a wrap from the winner's circle on round number 1.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations to Trevor and his dog. And guys, he gave us a pretty good detail of the cast, but what do you guys see on the card?
A lot of action.
A lot of action. Yeah, a lot of action. I mean, all of them, or at least 3 out. It just treated a lot of coons. I didn't see on particular there.
Posted, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 or 7 they scored on. So
and it sounded like she needed those 2 coons right down to the end and had to.
That's credit to Danny Sheridan. We've been knowing Danny Sheridan forever, and Danny knows where to go.
Yep.
He's coon hunted all his life.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we know who the 27 are. We've met them.
We've got 27 casts out, and we have 27 winners.
We have 27 winners.
That's awesome.
We've kind of got a diverse group. We've got some PR dogs. We've got a world champion that could be that first time repeat. We've got some dogs that have had their picture taken throughout the year already at previous events, and it sets up for a big Friday night and sets up for an exciting Saturday. And so I would quickly remind our viewers again, Saturday we will be back with you live, 12:30 for the bit show, and then 8:30 for the live coverage of the final cast. Like I'd said earlier, we're being told great hunting on Saturday night, great internet service, great service there.
You say that every year.
We say that every year. Maybe it's because it's in my script, but that's, and we're going to get it right one time. I mean, we're going to get it right. And so
this time we got it right.
Yeah,
this time we got it right.
This time we've got it, we've got it right. So we hope that you join us Saturday. We're excited to be back with you on Saturday. On behalf of myself, I want to say thank you to these guys working with you. I hope that they've enjoyed you as much as I enjoy being with you guys. And the last thing that we want to say is thank you to UKC's national sponsors for being such a great partners. Eukanuba and Dogtra, glad to be partners with them. And then the location, being here in Marshall, Illinois. We spent a whole segment talking about clubs, but guys, clubs are hard to come by that has the ability to do this. And to the club here at Marshall, thank you so much for your work. And so until next time, you've been watching the United Kennel Club World Coonhound Championships Midnight Mayhem. Thank you for being with us. Have a great night.